Wondery Plus subscribers can listen to Crime and Sports early and ad-free right now. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts.
Rakuten is the smartest way to save money when you shop because you earn cash back at over 3,500 stores. Fashion, beauty, electronics, home essentials, travel, dining, concert tickets, and more. Your favorite stores like Lowe's, Levi's, and Nike pay Rakuten to send them shoppers. And Rakuten then passes on a part of that payment to its members as cash back. You're already shopping at your favorite stores. Why not save while you're doing it? It's a no-brainer. Membership is free and easy to sign up. Get the Rakuten app now and join the 17 million members who are already saving. Cashback rates change daily. See Rakuten.com for details. That's Rakuten. Your cashback really adds up.
Your weekly dose of romance and drama has arrived. Season 29 of The Bachelor is here, and Grant Ellis, certified hottie and former day trader, is trading his day job on Wall Street for a second chance at everlasting love. New episodes drop every Monday at 8/7 Central, bringing you fresh twists in Grant's journey to find his soulmate. This self-proclaimed mama's boy is all grown up and ready to invest his heart. Will his playful charm win over the house full of hopefuls, or will the competition prove too intense? From heartfelt moments to adrenaline-pumping dates, each week brings new surprises in the mansion. Will Grant find his perfect match or end up with a broken heart? Tune in every Monday at 8/7 Central on ABC and stream on Hulu for new episodes of The Bachelor.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Crime and Sports.
Yay!
Oh, yay indeed, Jimmie. Yay indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmie Whisman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us today on another crazy edition of Crime and Sports, Chyna Part 2. And I don't know if we'll finish Chyna up here because she had quite an eventful life, and I feel like we're going to spend at least a couple minutes on the porns themselves. Yeah. So it's going to be, you never know. There's so many things that are like big things to talk about. The Surreal Life when she's on that and running around. There's a lot. Yeah. So we'll talk all about that. But first, though, head over to shutupandgivememurder.com. Want to go to a live show? Well, Small Town Murder live shows are on sale for 2025 right goddamn now. Get in there and get them. We cannot wait. Pittsburgh is up first. It's February 7th, Pittsburgh. Yeah. Pittsburgh at the Carnegie Music Hall thing at
in Oakland.
In Oakland, not in Munhall, in Oakland. So check that out. Columbus is sold out. It's 98% right now. So just about sold out. Thank you, everybody, for that.
Shit.
So anybody wanted to go to Columbus, get your ass to Pittsburgh. We're going to drive it. You can drive it too. So there you go.
It's 2.5 hours. You can
get your asses in the car. Sure, you have to cross into West Virginia for a second, but that's okay.
Wheeling's nice this time of year.
Oh, it's lovely. It's lovely. Everybody knows that. February in West Virginia is that's the garden spot right there. That's what you want.
Yeah.
So that's shutupandgivememurder.com. Get all your merchandise as well for Crime and Sports and Small Town Murder and your stupid opinions and everything like that. So there's that. Let's say you've done all that and you need more. We have more for you. Patreon.com/crimeinsports is where you get all of your bonus materials. All of it. Anybody $5 a month or above. Number one, you sign up right away. You get hundreds of bonus episodes you've never heard before.
So much.
Immediately upon subscription. Tons of Crime and Sports and Small Town Murders bonus stuff to binge on. New ones every other week. One Crime and Sports, one Small Town Murder. This week, what you're going to get for Crime and Sports, we're going to talk about Travis Rudolph, who's a recent NFL player who just finished up a murder trial. It was the whole thing was on like the Law and Crime Network on YouTube too. I watched it. Very interesting stuff here. Then for Small Town Murder, we're going to get back into West Memphis 3, Part 2 for that, and we'll talk about how the hell we even ended up where we ended up. So that'll be a lot of fun. That is patreon.com/crimeinsports, and you get a shout out at the end of the show as well, because God damn it, that is so appreciated, and we're happy to have you on fucking board. So let's do that. And that said, let's get back into Chyna. As Sean Waltman did on film. So let's do this here. We will start out. When we left off last week, we'll say that she just left the WWE.
Yeah.
Or WWF still at the time.
It's crazy that she is so famous, and her time there was so short.
So short. Yeah, she was there like 4 years.
Yeah.
But 4
Household
years in
name.
wrestling is a magnifying glass, especially if they put the rocket up your ass like they did with her, as they call it in the wrestling business. They pushed her to the fucking moon. I mean, she was one of the top stars of the company. I mean, they pushed her out there. She was popular. So, but yeah, if you didn't listen last week, at the end, she was offered a deal that had a minimum salary. They called it a downside guarantee of $400,000, and then
great.
She could make up to like $1 million, but she refused to sign for anything less than a million guaranteed dollars. That's what she wanted a year. And they said, that's not really realistic. Sorry.
She thought she was a starting linebacker.
She thought she was a star or a main event player in WWE. There, back then, there was the $1 Million Club, they kind of called it, and there was a few guys in it, and they were all main eventers of WrestleMania. It was like the Undertaker, the Big Show, maybe Shawn Michaels, Steve Austin, The Rock, guys like that made $1 million. Unless you were headlining pay-per-views all year, you're not making that.
She thought she was that.
She thought she was that. I mean, she was extremely popular.
Yes.
But extremely popular and $1 million guaranteed dollars are different. They're different things. So December 5th, 2001, there's this interview with her, and it's this, I guess she's being interviewed while like at a very fancy restaurant. That's how they're doing this. Boy. Yeah. So this is like her introduction into the non-wrestling world, kind of a deal they're trying to do here. So,
who interviewed her?
I don't know this person's name here. It's in here somewhere. I'll find it.
Is it for a TV show?
It was a magazine.
Okay.
A magazine interview here. And they say, I'm lunching in Yorkville with Joanie Laurer. Who, you ask? Well, you'd know her by another name, but she can't use it. Her old boss owns the trademark. Okay. That was a big deal, was anybody who leaves the WWE, then they go to the indie circuit and they find some like weird alternate version of their name that they use. You know what I mean? It's fucking strange. Every time somebody leaves, you got to like figure out, is that guy? Because
is Eastern Asia? Is that China?
Is that China? Is that Big Asia? That's what they call her. You're like, I think that might be China. I'm not sure. Yeah. I'm not fucking positive. So yeah, that's an interesting thing that they always have to do. But now they just do it where like the indies will promote them as, so and so, formerly this guy. So they use the name anyway on the posters and shit. Yeah, you know who the fuck it is. It doesn't matter how he's introduced to the crowd. Who cares? Right. So they said, I'll give you a hint. Rhymes with China, like the country China. Oh boy. Clever writer right away here. Interesting. The Amazon, formerly known as Chyna, to heck with Vince McMahon's trademark lawyer. You can say it. She can't use it to promote herself. You're allowed to say she used to be Chyna, you fucking idiot.
To heck with them. I'll fight back.
Jesus. Slides into a booth at Posh Prego on Bloor Street West. The Chyna 2000s are housed. Her boobs, she calls them the Chyna 2000s, by the way.
Oh, really?
Are housed in, she says that's what her breast implants are called Chyna 2000s. The guy as like a key to the article. Just here's a term you'll hear that you might not know. So the Chyna 2000s are housed in a black low cut Playboy T-shirt. She wears a gold bunny pendant, a gift from Hugh Hefner. She's in
wow.
She's in designer jeans and Reeboks. Which, I don't know, I didn't even know Reeboks existed in 2001.
Yeah.
Reeboks were 80s, and then pumps, and then gone, and then they came back again like fucking 6 years ago. That's it.
The foam bottom suede ones kind of never went away, right?
I don't know. I have some of those. Like,
do you? They're so rad.
They're fucking comfortable. Yeah, they're old school and comfortable, like good house shoes, shit like that.
Yeah,
but I have like a couple of weird colors too that I like.
Okay.
I wear weird shoes.
Like blue?
You got like the weird, like there's
Did you get
one
the maroon one?
I got a maroon with like it's the other shit on it, blue too. They're weird.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're pretty cool. I found them because they had that. Remember the Reebok outlet store in the Anthem?
Yeah.
The Anthem fucking outlet malls up there. Yeah, I used to be a process server, and I'd have to go up to Anthem once in a while. And when I did, I'd be like, this fucking sucks. I had to drive all the way out here. So I'd be like, I'm making it worth it. I'm going to stop at the fucking outlet mall.
Get some $30
look for, and I got $35 they were. That's exactly what they were. I was like, fucking score.
I'm going on The Price is Right.
This is great. Nailed it.
Yeah.
So, designer Reebok. Interesting. Okay. A bandana tops her dirty blonde head. That's interesting.
What?
Yeah. She tried to be blonde for a minute there.
Oh, boy.
No, wrestling fans, her hair is not really jet black. It's not dirty fucking blonde either. So
I guarantee it's not blonde.
Nor is she 200 pounds, as a lot of the clippings say. She's 165 on a 5'10" frame. She turns 29 2 days after Christmas. She has arms like Yule logs.
She is so young.
She was at the time. Definitely now she's in her 50s, but she's 55 now almost.
Yeah.
An uncertain future. McMahon's World Wrestling Federation released her in May after 6 years as dominatrix Chyna. 6 years. No, she didn't start in 95. She wasn't fucking wrestling in 95. Look at this, she says, holding up the current Playboy. She's barely dressed as a warrior on the cover. It says, Joanie Laurer, as proud as I was of the success I had, all the stereotypes I broke, I don't want to live my entire life behind the character of Chyna. My name is Joanie. That's what it says on there. Waiter Paul McNally, 42, takes one look at her and suggests the pasta.
What?
I'm not looking at women. I've waited tables. I'm not looking at a woman and go, may I make a suggestion to you? Looking over your body, sweetheart, I'd like to make a couple of food suggestions for you. Let's just say that.
I've seen your shoulders. How about a pork loin?
That's so fucking weird. You work out. You use like pasta, right? Can I get you half a dozen raw eggs in a glass? What are you suggesting? Let her order. It's a fucking restaurant.
You look like you're carbo loading right now.
What the fuck are you doing?
Christ.
So it's a ravioli stuffed with sweet potato and gorgonzola cream sauce.
What are you Southern all of a sudden?
Sweet potato. Well, I saw gorgonzola and I stole the A from gorgonzola there and made it potato, and I almost said gorgonzolo because I switched them. So I'm a moron is what that is. Potato and gorgonzola cream sauce. Sweet potato. I don't want sweet potatoes in my fucking ravioli,
no.
And I would smack you with a ravioli if you brought that to me. If you gave that to my grandmother, she'd spit it out and go, Ma, what did you do to these? Ma, why? Ma, why you do this? I don't know.
The veal is bad.
It's not, yeah, is this my meat? Ma, what do you put in here?
Why the veal is orange?
Ma, why this tastes like the bottom of a shoe? Ma, why? I don't understand why you do this. I hate sweet potatoes. We've gone over this before. We've had great sweet potato debates in the fucking comments and everything else, and I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. They're fucking gross.
Shit. The fries are shit.
They're shit. There's a reason why they're not dominating the French fry landscape, and that's because they suck. There's a reason for it. They suck. Let's be real here.
I'll eat a casserole. Fuck. I'll eat that sweet potato pie.
If people wanted the sweet potato French fries, trust me, they'd find a way to grow them, find a way to supply them. They'd be out
on
there.
Every menu.
They'd be constant. Yeah. It'd be, oh man, it'd be bad. So she says this, quote, in its own way, they ask her, how's Hollywood, Joanie? In its own way, it's as big a farce as the wrestling world, she says, sipping mineral water. They all
fake?
They all think I'm some butch chick who kicks guys in the nuts for a living. You just finished up a 5-year run of kicking guys in the nuts for literally half of the fucking work she did was kicking guys in the nuts for money. The fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
You're going to have to probably get that, tamp that down yourself. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm sure Steve-O hates that people are like, what else can
Put
you
that
stick
up your ass?
You know what I mean? That's your gig.
That's
That's
your shtick,
your gig.
babe. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. Think
Sorry,
I want people
that's what bought you a house.
Think I want people coming up to me after shows begging me to find their dead sister? No, but I'm reaping what I've sown here at this point. That's what I get.
Oh shit!
We were talking before the show about it. That's so fucking. I know the stance and the pose, and I feel terrible, and I can't help you. That's the part that sucks about it. I don't know anything.
I'm gonna have to break this woman's heart again.
I'm a comedian, and not that bright of a comedian, even. So, like, as far as being smart, I didn't go to like Harvard. I'm not one of these guys who was like a molecular engineer and then said, "I'll give comedy a try." I'm a fucking idiot. I didn't graduate from high school. I can't find anything or anybody.
Yeah.
If I could, I'll make some jokes.
25
But
years, James, you piece of shit.
yeah,
Why don't you give it a try?
get on this shit, dude. I'm sorry.
You didn't even show up to the last place she was seen, you fucking jerk.
What the fuck? You've interviewed none of the main players. Do some interrogating, dickhead. Lazy. You're lazy. That's what it is. I'm just lazy.
Get your Xerox machine and start giving lie detector tests.
Man. So Chyna's realizing that Hollywood isn't easy.
Yeah.
Which it's not.
And especially, she's going to be typecast.
I was going to say, you're pigeonholed and typecast into what you are. Weird.
What do you...
Strange. Like it's a new thing that everybody just discovered. Like there's not a lot of 6'7", 250-pound jack guys out there playing just like a real sensitive dad. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Not a lot of
wife's
that guy
leaving him and his trouble at the office.
I just want to play Peter Pan.
That's it. It's not happening. Like, sorry.
Yeah. It's a tough life, man.
You're gonna wait for Xena Warrior Princess redo and then fucking try out for that because that's what you got. That's what Hollywood looks at you and you're this. That's it. Right. Her voice has a slight little girl squeak. She has her big.
That's one way to say it.
It does have a weird lilt to it, little squeaky kind of.
I wouldn't say slight little girl squeak. I would say it has a fucking weird squeak.
She has that weird it's weird.
It's uncomfortable.
And I don't know if that's put on to I don't know if you know what I'm saying, like put on to kind of just fucking temper her hugeness. She's like, how you doing? Everybody be like, holy shit. Or she's like, hi, nice to meet you. Then they're like, oh, okay.
Oh, she is dainty. Right.
Okay, yeah. I don't know.
But it makes it more confusing. And I don't know that it's put on because I've seen her in roles where, you know what I mean, like TV shows and such.
Yeah, that's how she
talks a lot.
Yeah.
I've heard her on Howard Stern. And when she talks, you can't fucking put that on for that
long.
No,
I mean, unless she's been doing it since she was 12 and that's what she does. You know, that's just what her, but she'd slip once in a while, like the Theranos lady, like Elizabeth Holmes.
Right.
Remember that? She's like, listen, I need to tell you. And then she's like, dude, let me tell you something. Like, what the fuck? Huh? Where'd that come from?
Fella?
Yeah. What's up with that? I was just speaking like this for some reason. So she has her big dark eyes set on a super heroine role. She carries a Wonder Woman purse with the words "Beat it, creep" stamped on the side. I shift nervously. I think that's all she probably needs for people to beat it because she could kick the shit out of most of these guys that are going to go up and talk to her. So
there's probably a couple in that wrestling fan world that'll just go flirt with her. You know,
I would think. Flirt is one thing. I mean, you got to shoot your shot, but it's.
I suppose
if she tells you to fuck off, you better
fuck right off.
You better fuck off, is what I'm saying. Because I mean, maybe she'll be into it. Who knows? For now, she settles for guest bits on shows such as Whose Line Is It Anyway and Relic Hunter. God, why the fuck would she be on Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Yeah, what is she doing in improv?
Improv. God, first of all, no one should do that because it's fucking terrible. But
dumb.
I don't know why she would do it. She's not even like a comedian. Her meatiest role has been on a celebrity episode of Fear Factor, the gross out reality show. That's the one where she lost to Coolio, which is always it always hurts, to lose to Coolio. That's bad.
And that's crazy too, because that's only like 9 years post his last hit. You know what I mean? That's
fucking
got
less
sting.
than that. It's like 6 years.
That's crazy.
95 was Gangster's Paradise.
Washed up has-been.
Yeah. His shit was still, fucking big. It was still
funny.
I don't even know if Weird Al had spoofed it yet. Like, it was still in the culture.
They got him on TV like a washed up has-been.
Yeah, with a former wrestler. That's fucking sad. Well, that was when he was doing all like the I Love the 80s and shit like that. On VH1. He would do anything. Yeah. You get Coolio to do anything. He didn't give a shit.
He must have been terrible with money, right? Had to be. He needed work so bad.
He must have been terrible with money is great.
He was a fucking
He must have been bad with it. I guess. I don't know. Either that or he's just like, I'm going to keep making this money.
Yeah.
That's...
I mean, people say that about Sir Mix-a-Lot, but that man's made $100 million off Baby Got
Oh,
Back.
yeah,
So I don't know if Coolio had Gangster's Paradise money.
No, I've heard him fucking talking about Baby Got Back, and he's like, I was sick of that fucking song in 2 months. He goes, but keep playing it, motherfucker. I don't even give a fuck. He goes,
laugh it up, bitches. I'm paid.
But imagine doing that and having no idea that you're still going to be doing that 35 years from now. Do that song, and you're like, oh, this is making me some money. That's good. And then be like, 35 years from now, I'm going to be at a casino in Oklahoma with a bunch of heavy-set fucking 50-year-old white ladies shaking their asses at me. That's what's going to happen 35 years from now.
Yeah, he's gonna be sitting in the green room and hear, "Oh my God, Becky," and know that that's when the show's about to start.
That's
Here
me.
we go.
So I got to start fluffing my shit up here. All right.
Somebody
man.
get my posse off Broadway. Let's go.
Do it. Fuck, man. All right, this article. They stuck her head in a glass cubicle, then dumped a bucket full of worms, millipedes, and scorpions. Her warm pink lips purse in disgust at the memory. She survived 3 minutes doing yoga breathing to move to the next round. She eventually lost to rapper Coolio. That's showbiz. That's showbiz. You get millipedes dumped on your head, then you eventually lose to Coolio. But hey, that's the game. What the fuck are we talking about? That's not showbiz. I guess that is
Brad
showbiz.
Pitt when it's his turn.
Yeah. That's showbiz at its realest, like, fucking basis level. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's how you start. That's how you get in.
Man. Joanie has shot one film, Frank McCluskey CI, due next spring. That was a big hit, huh? Remember that one?
Still waiting.
No. It's CI stands for Claims Investigator, by the way.
Oh, boy.
She plays an outlandish secretary. Dolly Parton has a cameo. You can come up with your own jokes. Why the Chyna 2000s, Joanie? Why'd you get giant tits, Joanie? Okay. She laughs. Thank goodness. I had the muscle, but I didn't have the cleavage, she says. I wanted to be more feminine. Well, that ain't going to do it. I mean, it's fine, but...
Yeah, I mean, it does make you have a more womanly body, but...
You have tits now, but I don't know. I don't know. Who cares? Anyway, like...
Yeah.
Whatever. That's not your...
Yeah.
It's not your shtick or your deal, so...
Right.
You know what I mean?
Your tits aren't... You don't have to have a fucking insurance policy on them because if they're failed, then your care's over. Like,
that's what I mean. It's not about
fine.
your tits. Yeah, you're fine there. They said, "Where'd you get those arms and shoulders?" And she said, my parents were freaking kooky and I didn't have much identity. So I spent hours in the gym and pretty soon I was known as the girl with muscles and I liked it. It gave me an identity. The steroids question irritates her. Healthy living, not drugs, was her ticket, she says. Horse shit.
Come on.
Chyna. Give me a fucking... Dude, I get that she just got done with the whole thing and she's still in that world, but nowadays, like, obviously we know that's bullshit. Come on, Chyna. Jesus Christ. You were fucking healthy living? Are you serious? The road schedule they had...
Yeah.
And the reason why a lot of those guys, we've gone over this before, took steroids is the road schedule they had did not allow them to live a lifestyle that would allow you to have a big, healthy, muscular body. Yeah, flying every day, driving in the car, eating Denny's at midnight, going to bed, working out. None of that is, you can't do that.
How much cardio did that take, Joanie?
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. She glances at her Rolex. Gino Empri, her Toronto rep, is touring her around town, plugging the Playboy spread. She is tender, articulate, and polite for someone who used to pile drive large men into mats. She tells me she's newly single and lonely. She tells me she sat crying in her living room when the WWF said goodbye. Yeah, but you didn't. You could have still been there if you wanted to be.
They didn't say goodbye. You said goodbye.
Yeah, you said that's not enough money, which is fine. She figures she's still women's champion since she never lost the belt in the ring. Is there a comeback in Vince McMahon's script? She says, quote, I know a lot of wrestling fans are expecting it, but it's not going to happen. I've moved on. Okay. Lunch over, Joanie sits at the piano in Prego's big front window. Cello is her instrument, but she's no slouch at a keyboard. Her hands on those Amazon arms are small, feminine. The tender chords of Killing Me Softly fill the room.
What?
What a weird day. If you go out to
Get the fuck out of my
You
life.
go out to
Are
like
you
a
kidding?
fancy business lunch and they're like, there was that Chyna bitch was playing Killing Me Softly on the fucking piano. I don't know what's happening. What's up with that shit? And
Joanie Laurer plays the Fugees.
it's so weird. Fucking or Roberta Flack, one of the two.
I hope it's that version.
Probably not.
Yeah.
January 2002, Playboy Part 2. Here we go.
Yeah.
She is in Playboy again.
Is that right?
Absolutely. Here's the cover. They have her dressed like Xena, warrior princess. They have her in. I mean, she's got like over the knee-high boots, thigh-high boots, like a dagger and a fucking thing on the side. She's got a leather crotch thing.
I don't like the dagger placement. It makes her ass look so long. Poor thing.
It does. It elongates her ass.
that was a bad placement of that. Somebody's a jerk for that.
Look at that.
But she looks great.
Big giant dagger, and she looks very uncomfortable. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
her face looks
natural.
like, take this fucking picture. I can't do this much longer. It says from lady wrestler to warrior princess. Joanie Laurer is back nude.
Yeah.
What else is on here? A feverish year in sex is one of the other topics.
Okay.
How organized crime bankrolls terrorism. You know, literally in between. Joanie Laurer is back nude and a feverish year in sex. Is a rather serious article about how organized crime bankrolls terrorism. Holy
Incredible.
shit.
See her tits and then find out about world affairs.
Why not? And also Kiss superstar Gene Simmons tells the rock and roll tales you've dreamed about. Terrific.
Who's dreamed about those?
And 20 questions for super sportscaster Dan Patrick as well. So
Dan Patrick. Everybody needs to clamoring for the super sports questions.
And then finally, the one we've all been fucking just clamoring for. TV goes to war. Playboy interviews Brit Hume. That's who I want to hear. I want to see Chyna's tits and then find out what Brit Hume has to say about the fucking Iraq situation. Perfect. Thanks.
Holy fuck.
Get the
what
fuck
year was
out of
this,
here.
2001?
2002.
Wow.
January
just a couple
2002.
years later.
Yeah, it was right after 9/11 this all was. Yeah. She also filmed a Playboy adult documentary, Joanie Laurer Nude, Wrestling Superstar to Warrior Princess, which followed her on the set. They're like, we can put a video out for this shit. Hell yeah. That was when people still rented videos, so they're like, fuck it, we could do that. Japan, in 2002, she ends up going to Japan here to wrestle. Well, not to wrestle, but to be involved in it. She ends up.
Money. Yeah.
Her first appearance was at a New Japan 30th anniversary show where she refereed a bout between the Steiner brothers. Okay. Not bad. And Hiroshi Tanahashi and Sasaki. Okay, interesting. So, that's a good match there. February 2011 here, or 2002. It's February 11th, 2002. Some more acting. This is Relic Hunter. That's the one
They love her.
That is a Tia Carrera series.
Wow.
It's a series starring, it looks like Indiana Jones, but with a hot Asian chick. Okay. Instead, they're like, what if Indiana Jones was fuckable? Like, for guys.
You know, we got that little Asian driver. What if his older sister fucked Indy?
What if the chick from Wayne's World did an Indiana Jones thing? What do you think? Okay, cool. So it says history professor Sydney Fox and her linguistic assistant, Nigel, recover ancient artifacts from around the world while battling rival hunters. That's Indiana Jones. You just described.
Or Asian Tomb Raider.
Something, which was also Indiana Jones. It's all Indiana Jones. Anything, any explorer going into a fucking cave and coming out with some shit that other people want, that's Indiana goddamn Jones. I'm sorry.
Any white person going in and raping a relic of history is Indiana Jones.
What if it's an Asian lady? Is that okay?
That's right.
How does that go? If you're an Asian lady and you're in Egypt, what's that about? Does that work?
Is that Americans raping the soil again?
I don't think so. I don't know. So she was in one episode of Relic Hunter where she played what the fuck? She played Natasha Tripova. So I assume a Russian broad in that. Big Russian.
Big Russian.
Yeah. It was probably Tia Carrera was competing against the Russians for a relic in that one.
She's getting Dolph Lundgren right now.
Yeah, that's how that goes. 2002, she does a little bit for the New Japan Pro Wrestling again.
Okay.
So she's in there. I don't know if she's wrestling or I think she's just fucking
Referee.
reffing at this point, just making appearances. Because over there,
oh God,
yeah, just the spectacle of her will draw a crowd over there.
The crick in the neck of every person watching.
This big giant American chick. They're big on bringing big Americans over there, but a big like woman, like holy shit. I don't know how many Japanese women look like Chyna, but not many, probably.
I can't imagine.
I can't imagine. There's a lot of 5'10", fucking 175-pound jacked broads with fake tits over there.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this White Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. I'm going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles,
a big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud,
sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.
He was hip-hop's biggest mogul, the man who redefined fame, fortune, and the music industry.
The first male rapper to be honored on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Sean Diddy Combs.
Diddy built an empire and lived a life most people only dream about.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up.
But just as quickly as his empire rose, it came crashing down.
Today I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution.
I was up. I hit rock bottom, but I make no excuses. I'm disgusted. I'm so sorry.
Until you're wearing an orange jumpsuit, it's not real. Now it's real.
From his meteoric rise to his shocking fall from grace, from law and crime, this is the rise and fall of Diddy. Listen to the rise and fall of Diddy exclusively with Wondery Plus.
There were, I believe the statistic was that the tallest woman in the world and the smallest woman, I think it was tallest man and smallest man, lived within like 2 miles of each other. They were both in China.
That's very interesting.
Perhaps they do have big women there, but they all look like Yao Ming, not like fucking China.
I don't know how many. I mean, there's like 1.5 billion people, so they probably have 1 or 2.
Statistically, they've got to have
Japan,
huge people.
They have much less.
There you go. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This is in Japan.
And they're probably incredibly slender, too. Not like her. You know what I mean?
That's the thing. I don't know how many big old jacked. That seems pretty either American or Eastern European, one of the two.
Right.
So then 2002, she is in Frank McCluskey CI, which stars Randy Quaid. It says Dave Sheridan, Randy Quaid, and Dolly Parton. Poor Dolly. And it says accidents will happen. And I'll show you the cover. It's a dipshit. I guess that's Dave Sheridan with he's holding a dog with a helmet, and he's got a big giant rubber duck under the other arm, and then he's got like a messenger bag with like a first aid kit on it. It's supposed to be a comedy. Claims investigator, that can't be serious.
Yeah, it better not be.
And it's only 83 minutes long, so you know what I mean? It's not
Didn't
really.
even get those last 7 minutes.
It's not an epic. Let's just say that. It's not exactly The Godfather. The description is, after his work partner is murdered, a gung-ho insurance claims investigator teams with a new female investigator to uncover a massive homicidal fraud the company seems to be perpetrating on its biggest clients. She is not said female investigator, by the way. She is a secretary. So I don't know who this guy.
7 minutes of trailers to complete this movie.
That's wow. Oh, that's all we need. Madman McCluskey is Randy Quaid there.
Wow.
And Dolly Parton plays Edith McCluskey.
That guy's out of his mind now.
Yeah, I'm completely out of his mind for the last 15 fucking years.
I saw a video of him banging his wife, James.
Oh, yeah. No, that was out a long time ago. That was gross. Nobody wants that.
No.
Nobody was looking for that. Kevin Pollak and Tracy Morgan's in this, too.
Oh, look at them getting work.
Bunch of people. I think they have little parts, though. And then Chyna plays Frida.
Okay.
And she actually does it as Joanie Laurer in the credits.
Really?
So that's her first time trying to do that. Next up, in May of 2002, makes an appearance on an episode of Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Yeah, I mean, you
got to be
audience.
there. Yeah. And the episode, was it season 6, episode 21, Driving Mr. Goodman. She plays Mary Jo Ponder. This time as Joni M. Laurer, in case you confused her with the other Joanie Laurers in the world. Next up, and I really think we probably should take a look at this because we did not. We looked at it on a bonus episode, but we have not seen it for a regular episode.
What is
the
it?
Joey Buttafuoco versus Chyna celebrity boxing match.
This is so bad.
This is really bad. This is a big fat guinea just beating the shit out of a woman for the whole time.
I can't believe anybody thought this was okay. This is so fucked up.
Well, it's like everybody, I don't know, they figure she was a wrestler, so she's tough, and she fights, always talking about she's going to beat up guys, and then Joey Buttafuoco is a fucking dipshit, and they were like, this will be fun. Chyna will beat up Joey Buttafuoco. Won't that be fun? And then reality set in. And Joey's like, I've hit a woman before, all right? Listen, this ain't going to fucking affect me one bit.
I'm going to have no remorse.
I'll beat a woman for this. Don't think I won't.
But didn't he do celebrity boxing where he beat up like Danny Bonaducci or somebody like that? And it was like, or was it the Brady Bunch guy? He beat up somebody else.
It might have been him, yeah. The Brady Bunch guy.
Greg? I think he beat up Greg.
Barry Williams? He beat up the guy singing? He beat up a crooner? What are we talking about?
Yeah, because Danny Bonaducci
He beat up Johnny Bravo? You can't beat up Johnny Bravo.
I think Danny Bonaducci fought Screech.
Yeah. I think we went over that in our.
Yeah, and so that's why I think Joey did this twice, and to beat up a woman that's so fucked up, and she doesn't throw punches. Come on,
she wasn't fucked up at the time though.
No,
at the time she was considered a big badass.
Doesn't make this not fucked up.
But I mean, this was on goddamn television. No problem. Nobody mind. This
Fox
was on
and their
Fox.
Eyebrow entertainment.
Yeah, well, obviously. This is.
Oh, God.
Here we go. We're talking about a man.
We are. I mean, what do we expect? Domestic violence. What are you talking about?
What do we expect here? I don't know. A man to look at
the head on that man.
Yeah. No, he's a bit. Listen, he's a big fucking Guinea Auto fucking body shop guy from Long Island. You know how many fights he's been in? A few. Trust me. This guy's been in some fucking fights. I don't know how many street fights Joanie Laurer's been
Your
in.
insurance company won't cover the fender, so you need to pay $3,500. I don't have it. I'll take it out of you one way or another.
One way or another, I'll take it out of your ass if I have to. Is that Amy Fisher next to him? No.
Stop it. Oh, okay.
Here he is.
Oh, that's his daughter, I think. Yeah.
Oh, here she comes. Here she comes, everybody.
Don't do this, Joanie.
Turn around. This happened 23 years ago. Joanie, turn around.
Here comes Joey.
No, he's in the ringer in the second intro.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, there's Joey. He's coming up, but coming out.
Look at him.
Is Joey Buttafuoco a celebrity? Well, I mean, in the lowest sense of the form of the word, yeah, I would say so.
People know who he is.
He's known. Look at her. She looks very...
She looks like she regrets this already.
Yeah, she does not look like...
No. Oh, Joanie. No,
she looks like... She looks like she just had a fight with her boyfriend, is what she looks like. And she's like kind of bummed about it.
Yeah, she looks like somebody told her, please don't do this. And she was like, I've already signed the contract.
They're paying me.
Yeah. I need the money. Vince won't give it to me. Oh, God.
Not the boxing ring.
What do you think she got paid for this? 50 grand?
I don't know.
It better have been 50 grand.
It ain't worth it because she got the shit pump knocked out of her. I would want more.
She looks great. I'll give her
Oh,
that.
yeah, no, and Joey's old,
terrific.
too. I mean,
Yeah.
Joey's a 50-year-old man or something at this point, but a 50-year-old man who's been in a bunch of fights is going to beat the shit out of some woman who's not a fighter.
Right.
And it's just, number one, I think Joey outweighs her by about fucking 50, 60 pounds, too.
I think it's 100.
Joey's at least 230.
Yeah.
And she's going
He
165.
looks 280, James. He's got giant tits.
It's so funny that they had Michael Buffer do this.
He's made so much money off of that. Good for him.
Oh, he was getting, I want to say, $25,000 a pop for those Monday Nitro intros, which was...
The Gladiator. Why the Gladiator? It doesn't even make any sense.
No. Oh, here comes Shay. Hold on, I gotta...
Joanie rocks. Okay, she's got her hands up.
The crowd's on her side.
They sure are. Oh,
we know that.
Italian flag, of course.
Of course, there's going to be an Italian flag. What are you kidding me?
God damn it.
Come on, Joey! Hey, Joey, kick her fucking ass, Joey!
Punch that bitch.
Show this broad the place is making the sauce, Joey.
James, he's got her by 75 fucking pounds.
Jesus Christ.
Holy shit.
Look at this.
She's hunched over. She's clearly fought a little bit. Oh, she's dancing. She's
trying to.
Joanie.
Well, she knows how to pretend to fight. That's the thing.
Yeah.
She's got all the movements down, but then actually taking and throwing punches are another
Joey's
issue.
an aggressive human being.
He's a big, fat, aggressive guinea. He's going to kick your ass.
Jabbing the shit out of her.
He's like, how dare you knock over my pasta fagioli? Get back here. Get over here, you. I swear to fucking God, I'll give you the back of my fucking hand.
Sweet
Johnny!
potatoes and going ravioli.
Johnny, I'm going to take all the sweet potato ravioli out on you, sweetheart. Let's go. Johnny.
Sweet potato. How dare you? How dare you ruin ravioli?
How dare you ruin ravioli? For me, for everybody, for the kids. It's for the kids.
Some guy telling her how to take a punch.
Her manager going, listen, try to not be a lady fighting a fucking guy way bigger than her, if you could try that.
If you could not take a guy who outweighs you by 75 pounds punch, that'd be great.
That'd be good stuff, I think.
I think if you slipped the punch, that'd be good for you.
That'd be good for you. I do give her credit that she is taking punches from a grown man right in the fucking grill and standing
right in the
there.
Mouth. And she doesn't, she gets hit so easily, she doesn't even have an opportunity to ball up another fist. Her hands just go everywhere.
Oh,
boom, and her hands are, they aren't even up.
She got a shot in on him, and he was like, bitch, I'll kick your fucking ass. How dare you? She just flew down. What the hell just happened there? Did he just suplex her?
Threw her by her head.
Arm dragged her. Oh, he just popped her a couple times.
Oh, God. Oh, this
she's on the floor.
Terrible.
Oh, he just tossed her. That was that was like an arm drag from under her arm.
She's like, can he do that?
Joey, look at him. Come on, let's go. What do you think you're doing, huh?
Oh, God.
What are you going to tell on me, huh? What are you going to do?
Oh, God,
this
is so sad.
You going to tell everybody I had sex with you? Is that what you're going to do right now? You going to shoot my wife in the fucking head, huh?
I hope she got $400,000 for this.
I hope so, too. What are you going to... You going to beat my wife up now, huh? Let's go. This is for you, Mary Jo. I love Mary Jo.
God damn it. She turned her back.
Because he fucking... No, he spun her. He hit her and fucking spun her around. She hit him in the face, and he was like, oh, motherfucker, really?
She keeps turning her back to him and walking.
Yeah.
Oh, she doesn't.
Her headgear's twisted because he's fucking not punching her in the face.
Spun it.
This is wild.
Oh, God.
Okay. She's almost out of the ring.
Yeah, he's throwing her around.
That was like a punch push in the face.
Yeah.
That was like a mush. He just mushed her to the canvas is what he just did. So get over here. And she almost flew out of the ring. Get over here. Come here. What are you doing? Hey.
Nice punch. That was a good one.
Oh, he's just uppercutting the fuck.
Damn it.
Whenever she hits him, he just punches her 30 times. He's like, you fucking bitch. And he comes back.
He held her by the back of the head, dipped her down, hit her so hard she came off the fucking canvas.
That was awesome.
Oh, God, it's hammer punches.
Jesus Christ, this is insanity.
I don't know what kind of move this is.
So anyway, Joey wins the fight, but she took quite an ass kicking on that one, and that was not. I don't know why we're letting that happen on TV.
I can't believe that. That should never be legal.
Even wrestling slowed down on like the intergender beatings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they were like, "Hey, let's have a guy."
And they generally let her get in some really good licks and almost win if she does lose.
Yeah. This is
that was
every
just
time
a beating.
It was like it seemed like this is what it looked like to me. He's like kind of taking it easy. Yeah. And then she would punch him, and he'd go, "Oh, well, fuck, you want to fucking fight then?" And then he'd fucking hit her a bunch of times so much where it'd spin her around. She's like, "Oh, my God, Jesus Christ, Joey."
He spun her around, and she took 2 steps forward, looked like she was running away.
Yeah, she didn't know where she was, I think. I think her fucking gear got turned.
You can't do that to women, man. That's
holy
fucked
shit. No, that's really fucked up. So June 3rd, 2002, I guess she's in an episode of Tracker.
Okay.
Don't Tracker. TV show here. Tracker, it ran for it only had 2 episodes. No, it had 22 episodes because she's in season 1, episode 22. So there you go. She plays Ree, and she is credited as Joanie Laurer. Then, this is unexpected, she's then in a movie called Brown Sugar.
Oh?
Which is definitely a black romantic comedy from the looks of it. It is. Look at the cover. Taye Diggs and this chick. Look at it.
Yeah.
It's like a fall day on a city street with leaves falling, and she's like hugging him from behind, and he's smiling and shit, holding what is that?
Unbelievable.
Holding her leg up. That's what that is. Okay. Yeah. This is friends since childhood. A magazine editor and a hip-hop record executive stumble into romantic territory. The most stereotypical romantic comedy. There's, according to romantic comedies, half the population's a magazine editor. That's... I swear to God, there's at least 100 million magazine editors in this country.
Unbelievable.
Here, and in this, Taye Diggs. Who else we got here? Queen Latifah's in it. There you go. Okay. Wendell Pierce. We got Bunk.
Oh.
We got some Bunk in this motherfucker. She plays uncredited woman at party.
Oh, no.
So basically an extra.
Scale, yeah.
Or a cameo where they're like, oh, shit, there's celebrities here, or some shit like that. Wow. I don't know. 2002, she's in a TV movie, Hunter, Back in Force.
Oh, it's back.
Do you remember the 80s TV show Hunter?
No.
Okay.
Who's
I only know this because my dad and stepmother used to watch it. It was Fred Dreyer. He used to play for the Rams.
Okay.
An NFL player. And he played, it was a cop show. It was like, he was like a detective. It was on like Saturday nights at like 10 o'clock. It was one of those shows. It was like a, like a hard-boiled detective show. I don't know. He'd always shoot people.
And now she's in this. The reboot of it.
It's from the 80s. I mean, it was on from like 82 to 88 or some shit. And then this is Hunter Back in Force. It's just a TV movie. And the description is simply Hunter and McCall are back. What I remember, it wasn't terrible as far as those movies go, or those TV shows. I don't know about this movie, but the TV show wasn't that terrible. She plays Brandy Rose, for whatever that's worth for anybody out there. Then she ends up doing a real weird thing here. She goes to the Universal Fighting Arts Organization.
Okay.
Which I believe is not a legitimate sporting.
It doesn't sound like it. I've never.
It sounds like some form of worked something, sports entertainment or whatever.
Sure, yeah.
She defeated woman boxer Chika Nakamura for the Universal Fighting Arts Organization Championship. Not for a championship, just in the organization. She beat her by a first-round TKO.
Okay, so she's very good against women.
Yeah, so I've had my bell rung by Joey Buttafuoco. Let me tell you something.
I can take a punch.
And she wrestled, I guess, several matches for the promotion here. She lost, holy shit, Masahiro Chono. She fought, okay, that's not a woman. That's a
dude?
That's definitely a dude and a very well-known dude, Masahiro Chono, on October 14, 2002. As she lost to him and then performed her final match on October 26, teaming with a fake Great Muta. That sucks. Just some guy with his face painted, spitting green shit.
Okay.
They had a couple. There's been a few fake mudas going around out there. Yeah, absolutely. And she lost in a tag team match to the same guys, Suzuki and Tanahashi, that she reffed the Steiner Brothers match to. And they said despite working with the biggest names like Chono and Tanahashi, couldn't break out really as a player for NJPW, for New Japan. They couldn't really get the... They weren't interested. They wanted her a couple of times to draw a crowd, and then they were done with her. That's it. She's a spectacle at this point.
Yeah.
So 2003 here, this is when she starts her relationship with Sean Waltman.
Okay.
And if you don't know Sean Waltman, he's X-Pac or 6-Pac or 1-2-3 Kid or Lightning Kid or whatever the fuck. A lot of different. Yeah. He's been around forever. I mean, since he started when he looked like he was 12.
Yeah.
He looked like when he was in Global in like 90, I remember seeing it on ESPN or 91, he looked like, I was like, this is someone's child wrestling. What the fuck are they doing? They would announce him at like 130 pounds or some shit. It was crazy. He was so tiny.
And then he had those leather pants and the long black hair and NWO.
Later.
And
Later on he went like Dave Navarro scumbag. That was like his look. I'm going to cultivate more of a Dave Navarro look here. Looks like the fucking the syphilis is jumping off me. That's better. So they were engaged for a period in 2003.
Yeah.
Then they broke up, then got engaged again, and then rinse and repeat for the next few years, basically. Yeah. And that's a bad cocktail.
Okay.
Because this is two people that are Sean Waltman, a funny guy actually, and a pretty smart guy. I've seen a lot of interviews with him. He's not a dummy. He's done a lot of drugs. I'm talking
I mean, the way he looks today, I just saw him recently, like last week.
So many drugs.
He looks crazy now.
It's wild. Like I've heard him tell stories about when they were wrestling and they were going to Europe and he would have like a fucking thing of like, liquid crazy, like some kind of weird painkiller that comes in pill form. He'd have just a liquid but just be
a drink of it.
Guy's like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Wrestlers are going, that's too much, bro. That's too much.
Yeah,
so and then
he doesn't look good now. He's
no.
He kind of looks like small. What's that guy's name that was?
He's not much older than us either.
No,
he's
really
pretty young.
Oh,
yeah,
he's 52.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He's not that much. He's not like he's like Hulk Hogan or something, 70 years old or some shit. Yeah. He's not that much older than us.
He looks like small Batista. That's what he looks like.
Tiny Batista.
Yeah.
No, not at all. So this relationship, when you get those two together, when you get two people, and she isn't known for her mental stability or her whatever. So this is tough. So March of 2003, here is what happened here. Okay, I'll read this article. As she snorted the crystal meth. So this starts out. We just took a big drop off from I'm in the Hunter movie to as I'm snorting crystal meth. As she snorted the crystal meth, Joanie Laurer could hear the pounding on the door, but she wouldn't let her sister inside. Earlier that afternoon in March 2003, Kathy Hamilton had arrived unannounced at Laurer's condo in Marina del Rey, California, and pleaded with her sister to seek help for her addiction. Laurer screamed and cursed at Hamilton for hours before barricading herself in the bathroom to get high.
Wow.
This is going great, guys.
Oh, boy.
This is bad stuff. Yeah. So, I mean, this is in less than 2 years.
Meth.
From that's crazy. Like to this point too, of just Hollywood has completely broken her brain. Broken her brain. Her sister said, "I didn't recognize the person I saw that day. It was like the devil had invaded Joanie's body."
Yeah.
Later that evening, with the help of an interventionist, Hamilton convinced Laurer to check into the Chateau Recovery Center in Utah. A private plane flew the sisters to Salt Lake City. I would save that money, girl. I would do that. And they arrived at the facility around midnight. 5 minutes later, as staff members attempted to greet her in the lobby, Laurer went on a profanity-laced tirade and stormed out. Yeah, she wasn't high anymore by then, and she was like, okay, going to get high now. She screamed, quote, well, you know what? Let's, there's not enough of this to do. I was going to do it in their own words, but there's not enough. She screamed, I don't know why the fuck I'm here. I'm not doing this. She flew home the next morning and never spoke to her sister again.
Yeah.
That was it. Fuck her sister. She's done with her. For years, though, she sent threatening messages via voicemail, postcard, and fax. Imagine getting a threatening postcard. There's like a picture of a waterfall on the front, and you turn it over. Bitch, I will choke the fuck out of you when I see you. Like, wow. What a different fucking vibe. This is Merry Christmas from, holy shit. And faxes. There's a fax coming in. What's that? Oh, it's just my sister who wants to kill me. Okay, that's all.
Sending me waterfalls.
The messages are, I can't believe you deserted me. You're going to pay for this. I'm going to come get you. Threatening her. Yeah. So Kathy says, I lived in fear of my sister for a long time. I was literally scared she was going to show up at my front door with a knife or a gun. Or herself. Either one. So there's a problem with all this, obviously. That's not good here. March 29th, 2003. This is from the Vancouver Sun. And it says the Chyna syndrome is the headline.
What does that mean?
Her Chyna, with a Y. Right. And it says, you may have thought teenage boys are the only ones imbibing the stylized violence of professional wrestling. But no. Now, this is written by Rosemary Poole. Mm-hmm. And she says, when I was a scrawny 10-year-old on Saturday mornings when the kitchen still smelled like bacon and coffee, I'd be one of the 5 kids between the ages of 2 and 12 sprawled out on the family room carpet watching Hulk Hogan on our vintage 1980s wood-paneled floor model television. Back then, I didn't appreciate the finer points of wrestling. I just knew that the good team always came out on top and that my sisters and I wanted to be the lovely Miss Elizabeth. We loved how Macho Man Randy Savage held the ring ropes open for her to shimmy elegantly under. They saw her like post-88 then. Yeah. Because pre-88, he used to yell at her to get the ring ropes for him and point when he was a heel. That was the best. She'd do it, and he'd be like, open them more, and she'd like do it more, and it was obviously a struggle, and everybody would boo him. What a great fucking heel move. The other guy would
toilet seat down too.
Yeah, get over here. The other guy would run over, he'd pull her in front of him. I was like, that's fucking hilarious. That's good shit.
Human shield and making her open shit. Yeah,
great heel, man. And as soon as he was a baby,
peanut butter in the pickle jars.
So all he had to do was turn babyface was to open the ropes for her, and everybody went batshit crazy. It was funny as fuck.
What a guy!
He finally did it. That's fucking amazing. So she goes on to say how she watched it with her family. That's what she's talking about. It was the only show that we watched with our dad, and we'd body slam each other and give each other wrestler nicknames and all that kind of shit. Basically goes on, this author goes on to say she's a lapsed fan, went to college, and then by the time the 90s came around, it was when it was so ubiquitous. Yeah. And it was everywhere. She started seeing it again here. She said it was hard to avoid. She said, of course, many of the celebrated wrestlers from my youth were no longer around, and some early efforts to see where they'd gone, I was no longer curious. Many, like Brutus the Barber Beefcake, Greg the Hammer Valentine, and Coco Beware, were back in the bargain basement amateur wrestling circuit. Andre the Giant had died from the rare growth hormone condition that had made him famous. Jake the Snake Roberts had become a suicidal crack addict and deadbeat dad. Listen to the Jake the Snake Roberts episode to find out all about that.
What a fantastic eulogy.
That's synthesizing it right down to the essentials right there. Just really whittling it up. I didn't even want to know what happened to the others. My childhood heroes were looking frayed around the edges. I preferred and still prefer a two-dimensional hero with one finishing move. When I started watching again at 19, the clearly demarcated world of good and evil I remembered from Saturday mornings past had vanished. With the end of the Cold War had become a more complex lineup of wrestlers oscillating between good and evil. The evil tag team known as the Bolsheviks was no longer needed. Hulk Hogan had traded in his prayers and vitamins for a black bandana and a gang of thugs known as the New World Order. And Elizabeth wasn't the ideal woman anymore. She looked tired, and worse, she traded in her sequin dresses for tight jeans and T-shirts.
She looked tired, like the worst thing you can say about somebody.
Yeah. She looked 40 is what she looked. She was 40. That's all it was. What do you want from people? A new kind of female character had emerged during my absence, and her name was Chyna. This was going somewhere. Chyna trained and wrestled alongside the men and was the first and only woman in the then WWF to earn the Intercontinental belt. Funny thing, though, about that particular pop culture symbol of the strong female Avenger. Nowadays, you can't call her Chyna anymore. Joanie Laurer lost all ownership of Chyna, the wrestling character she played for 6 years in 2001, shortly after losing her own Macho Man. After leaving the WWF, Joanie Laurer has spent a year having doors slammed in her face because she couldn't say who she was. Yeah, she can't use her name. Yeah, right. That's what people know her as. This is a quote from her here. No one wanted Joanie. They made me very aware that I was not allowed to use it in any way. This is Joanie talking. Wrestling was this odd phenomenon where people live their characters every day. You never know quite what is real. To me, that's inappropriate. I knew where Chyna ended and Joanie began.
Behind the closed doors of government offices and military compounds, there are hidden stories and buried secrets from the darkest corners of history. From covert experiments pushing the boundaries of science to operations so secretive they were barely whispered about. Each week, on Redacted, Declassified Mysteries, we pull back the curtain on these hidden histories. 100% true and verifiable stories that expose the shadowy underbelly of power. Consider Operation Paperclip, where former Nazi scientists were brought to America after World War II, not as prisoners, but as assets to advance U.S. intelligence during the Cold War. These aren't just old conspiracy theories. They're thoroughly investigated accounts that reveal the uncomfortable truths still shaping our world today. The stories are real. The secrets are shocking. Follow Redacted, Declassified Mysteries on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Redacted early and ad-free right now on Wondery Plus.
A few miles from the glass spires of Midtown Atlanta lies the South River Forest. In 2021 and 2022, the woods became a home to activists from all over the country who gathered to stop the nearby construction of a massive new police training facility, nicknamed Cop City.
At approximately 9 o'clock this morning, as law enforcement was moving through various sectors of the property, an individual, without warning, shot a Georgia State Patrol trooper.
This is We Came to the Forest, a story about resistance.
The abolitionist mission isn't done until every prison is empty and shut down.
Love and fellowship.
It was probably the happiest I've ever been in my life.
And the lengths we'll go to protect the things we hold closest to our hearts. Follow We Came to the Forest on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus.
Have you ever gotten a message out of the blue? Maybe you ignore them. Or maybe you end up in conversation. Maybe they tell you about an amazing offer.
I can really show you how to make some money.
And maybe that gets you into a lot of trouble. But this isn't a story about people like you, the people receiving these messages. This is a story about the people behind the messages, on the other end of the line. Thousands of them, working in a micro-city built for scammers. From Wondery, the makers of Dr. Death and Kill List, comes Scam Factory, a new series about survival at the expense of others. Follow Scam Factory on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Scam Factory early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts.
Her comments were subtly directed at Paul Levesque, better known as Triple H. In addition to losing her wrestling name in the spring of 2001, Laurer also lost her partner of 5 years to a storyline that became a reality. Triple H got romantically involved with the boss's daughter. Joanie says, my contract came up and the offer made was a very low amount due to the fact that there were personal issues involved. My boyfriend had an affair with a real storyline. It was a sad way to end what could have been, to my mind, a phenomenal change in the WWE's definition of gender roles. When Joanie Laurer joined the WWF, she played an anonymous, crazed fan of the now-defunct Generation X and interfered in matches to position them for a championship. By the time WWE owner Vince McMahon was convinced she had superstar potential, she earned the name Chyna, narrowly escaped being called Tiva Guive.
What?
Dude, when you hear, we could do an episode on just what wrestlers were almost called and how bad that is.
They were going to call her Tiva Guive?
Tiva Gueve, Gweeve.
Oh my God.
There's a long history of this, like Vince McMahon giving people choices of lists of names, and they're fucking terrible and hilarious.
Yeah.
Tigress was another one.
Okay.
Venus, or She-Ra, which is He-Man's cousin, which doesn't work. You can't be She-Ra. Just put an extra E in it and make it, rather than She-Ra, it's She-Ra. That last one being eerily similar to another childhood hero of my generation. Exactly. It's He-Man's cousin. Yeah. Laurer says she had no role models when she started touring with WWE and takes credit for literally showing newer female characters like Turn, Lita, and Trish the ropes. She also claims partial responsibility for bringing in female fans. It was a combination of factors. There was a really good group of incredible talent back then, but obviously I take some credit. It led to a lot of women watching. I don't know about that. I don't know. In her recent book, If They Only Knew, she reveals that when she entered the WWE, she met resistance, ridicule, and sexual harassment from her male counterparts. The worst part, she says, was facing male wrestlers who wouldn't treat her as an equal. Aside from the personal issues behind her departure, Laurer says the WWE wanted to push her back into female wrestling, which she couldn't accept. She said, I'd taken a lot of crap and I was not about to go backwards. I was not being allowed to fight the guys. The WWF management were trying to push me into the women's groups. Although I'm all for women, I couldn't go backwards. That's because by the early 2000s, though, there was a lot of pushback in wrestling with men fighting fucking women in the ring.
Right.
That became an issue.
Yeah.
Like politically, it became an issue.
Sure, yeah.
So it wasn't we want to push down Joanie Laurer. It was we have congressmen calling saying, why the fuck are you having domestic violence happening in the ring? That's literally why.
Obviously, stronger men beat up women. That's fucked up.
That's literally why. Because like WCW in like 1998 or 9, TBS told them no more intergender violence. You can't have that anymore. Yeah. It's crazy. There was an episode and they're like, you had a guy hit a woman with a chair. You can't do that. That's crazy. Think about that for 2 seconds.
Yeah. If that happened at Thanksgiving in any fucking house around this country.
An episode of Cops is Born. A good one where you're going, this is a good one. This is a good one.
Her face is split open. Jeez.
There's mashed potatoes all over the place and they go in there, boy.
Somebody threw the turkey. It's destroyed.
Someone tried to close her wound with stuffing. This shit was wild.
That turkey took hours to make. This day is ruined.
This day is over.
This dinner is over.
That's awesome. By backwards, Laurer meant subjecting herself to gravy bowl matches, pillow fight antics, and bikini challenges that the ever-increasingly sexualized female performers
like
I can't bring myself to call them wrestlers have to endure. Okay. Laurer, now that's what they did. They made it from having no women and just then having Chyna beating up guys, then having it be like this weird like Playboy video thing where they would have pillow fights and like who can rip each other's bikini off first or shit like that.
Yeah.
And then they went later on to
gravy, James.
Gravy all over the place.
Holy Christ, like a frat house.
Laurer, now a featured wrestler with New Japan Wrestling, not really, says she's embarrassed to tell her new fans that she was ever involved with it.
Oh, come on.
She said it's just not a good product. I don't think we'll ever see a time when women's wrestling is that popular or that great. Well, it's you do not predict the future well because it's gigantic and has been for the last like 7 years.
Yeah, and the women in WWF are more popular than the men. Like it's great.
They do a lot of, and they're good athletes and shit they have there. Yeah. It's totally different now. She said, I don't think you're ever going to have an Intercontinental Champion again, she says, referring to the fact that she won it. They said, this woman, the author goes on to say, I remember the match well. Jarrett's character had taken a hard misogynistic turn. His latest gimmick was basically hitting women and telling Chyna to run and hide like every other woman would and should do. She won the title from him in a Good Housekeeping match that involved vacuum cleaners and pots and pans, among other household items.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's what they did. That's fucking funny.
Not misogynistic at all.
No.
Beat her with her housewares.
You don't want to vacuum? All right. I'll show you what to do with it.
How come my shirt's so wrinkled? I'm going to pummel you with the fucking iron.
Jesus Christ. While Laurer says she's on better terms with Triple H now and has recently become engaged to former WWE wrestler X-Pac, she still expresses some bitterness that her contribution to the business and to bringing in female fans has been so easily forgotten, and she harshly criticizes the WWE's decision to revisit its old program of separating male and female performers. Okay. I'd always hoped it would progress the other way, she says. I'm happy more women are involved, but I'm unhappy the women don't have respect for the business the way I do. Jesus Christ. She doesn't know what she's talking about. Yeah. A heroic stance, the author says. Yet I came away from our conversation vaguely disappointed by Laura's half-baked critique of the admittedly sexist fantasy world she'd inhabited. She might have said she'd left the WWE because she couldn't reconcile years of training and personal sacrifice to become a ball gown wearing mamacita, that was what Eddie Guerrero called her, who accompanied second tier wrestler Eddie Guerrero. That's not right.
Oh, that's
to his matches.
Up.
That's fucked up. Instead, he was a fucking top guy, man.
He's great, for Christ's sake.
Man. Instead, she admitted that the mamacita storyline was one of the highlights of her WWE career. Yeah. What about her two-time possession of the Intercontinental Belt? But with her ordeal with the WWE and Triple H now behind her, Laurer says she's moved on. She seems confident in her new role in Japan and does guest appearances on shows like Celebrity Fear Factor and Hollywood Squares. Chyna says, quote, I'm very proud of Chyna, but it's also important to me for people to know I have the ability to move on. It's almost a desperation for me that people know that.
Yeah.
It is desperation because you're
almost.
Yeah. And this is after she was dragged out of her house to a fucking rehab for doing meth and shit. Meth. So she's, wow. The author goes on to say, I was embarrassed to ask Laurer when exactly it was that she'd finally left the WWE. She's been so quietly phased out that I couldn't even remember when she'd finally finished, even though I'd followed Chyna with interest. The problem was the character never met a dramatic end. She wasn't seriously injured in some dramatic pay-per-view fallout or cage match. Chyna and all of her potential had simply slunk away in shame. That had to hurt worse than any injury sustained from an I Quit match where opponents resort to anything as long as it takes till the other one surrenders. When I called up the guys from my old university wrestling club, none of them remembered and none of them knew what to make of Chyna either. They liked what she stood for in the grand scheme of things, but couldn't figure out where she fit in the netherworld of sports entertainment when women are pretty surgically enhanced blondes who only wrestle each other. When the writers tried to turn Chyna into one of them, it didn't take. It couldn't have, but she never was couldn't have, but she never was accepted as one of the boys either. Her signature move, after all, was a low blow. Yeah, I mean, she has been kicking guys in the nuts. The Wonder Woman experiment clearly hadn't worked for any of us. A warning to any cultural studies egghead wanting to put my kind under your microscope. It's pretty much impossible to get female fans of pro wrestling, especially the new converts, to articulate some profound reason for their viewing preferences. Here is a 16-year-old from London that says, quote, some people take it way too seriously. They're just entertainers. It's got the best parts of a soap opera, but the plot moves faster. Every week there's a new fight, a new storyline. It fascinates me how they come up with this stuff.
It's just a bunch of eggheads sitting in a room. A bunch of
That's
ugly
it.
guys talking to
That's
each other.
Pretty much it. It used to be a bunch of former wrestlers, and now it's a bunch of fucking nerds. That's it. That's all it is. Now it's a bunch of failed TV writers and nerds. That's who they are.
But the storyline's still the same today because Rhea just fought Liv the other night, and she beat her. And then her boyfriend, Rey Mysterio, his grandson, tried to switch sides. Yeah, Rey Mysterio Jr. This guy now switches sides from Liv to Rhea, and Rhea kicked him in the nuts.
Of course. That's all it is. Same thing. That's how it works.
Yeah, she kicked him hard as fuck, too.
Yep. Another woman says, I thought wrestling was made especially for women. Sweaty, half-naked men running around, sleazy soap opera plot lines, fashion tips. What more could a woman want in a TV show?
She thinks that's for women, huh? All right.
I think that's for women. 2003.
Yeah.
I don't know what this is. It is called Romp, and it's an action short.
Oh, it's a 15-minute action movie.
You can see, here's a screenshot of her obviously fighting a woman. Look at her with her.
Okay, yeah.
She obviously looks pissed. Yeah. And there's a woman here. Oh, that's a guy.
Yep.
She's beating up a guy. Right. I don't know. Directed by Adam Paulina. Who else is in this? Nobody. Terrific. Chewy Bravo is in this. Literally, that's the guy. Chewy Bravo.
Yeah.
Next up, she's in Alien Tracker.
Oh, so Tracker, but aliens.
Now, well, we've moved on. We got bigger problems now. You're tracking things on Earth. Yeah. Now we got fucking aliens. Let's get out of here. All right, Alien.
The planets.
Alien Tracker went from a TV show to now a straight-to-video movie.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, it's PG-13, an hour 43. At least they get that 90 minutes in.
Sure
in a galaxy far away, alien criminals organize a spectacular prison break.
Alien criminals.
Alien criminals.
Because they got so much
the
of
laws of the
society
universe
that they lock up the ones that are bad.
Bad aliens. Pursued by their home planet's authorities, their leader Zinn decides there's one place to go. Through a wormhole that allows instantaneous travel to where? Earth, obviously.
Yeah.
Cole is the alien tracker who's in hot pursuit of one of the escaped convicts when a government group investigating extraterrestrials captures blah, 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 blah. Who gives a shit? Okay. Yeah. This is wild. This is fucking wild. Anyway, she plays, let's find out. She plays Ree. Ree. An alien would be good. I'm trying to find anyone I've heard of in here. Yeah. I don't know who these people. Adrian Paul is the star.
Last time?
I think that's her character. I think Tracker.
Recurring shit. Look at this.
She's in it. Let's bring her back. Okay, 2004. Mm-hmm. This is when Chyna culturally, because she was in wrestling, big. Then basically for the last 2.5 to 3 years, nobody fucking heard of her. Nobody saw any of that shit she did. Yeah. You might have seen. Yeah. She's on Hollywood Squares for 2 seconds, but that's not like, she's not in the culture. Then, in 2004, her and X-Pac her and Sean Waltman release a sex tape. That is fucking huge. Just for the spectacle of it.
Yeah.
It's just like, what is going on here? This is crazy.
Yeah, it's wild, too, because he barely gets in her vagina. It's crazy. It's so much ass sex. It's fucking
It's a lot of ass. It's a lot of anal.
It's a lot of ass sex.
It's a lot of anal, and she has
bad blowies.
She has some interesting physical characteristics, let's just say, about her.
It's not as bad as you think, but yeah, it's.
Oh no! There's one part that is about as weird as I've ever seen it. Not to be, listen. You're like, you've been taking too many hormones, lady. Yeah. That is not working out right there.
The tip top of it certainly hangs out a little further than you'd think.
There's guys jealous of her out there somewhere. I'm telling you, it's weird.
It certainly has some length.
It's fucking weird. Waltman jerks it off like a dick. It's fucking weird, dude. I'm sorry. It's just a lot.
Maybe that's why he's in her ass so much. But
he
is just in her ass the whole time.
It's like a pine cone dangling down. It's fucking.
It's certainly. It's not near as bad as I expected, to be honest.
No.
I expected way worse.
I mean, we're obviously, this is, we're the most intimate parts of someone's body. We could all get picked on for a bunch of shit.
Oh, my God. This thing's way darker than you'd think.
We don't choose to film it and put it out to people.
Right.
That's the difference.
I'm not showing a soul. I want the lights out, for Christ's sake.
If this was like a leaked thing, then I'd feel bad. They made this and said, watch this and tell us what you think. So I'm telling you what I think.
Somebody
fucking weird.
And showed him everything, but also had somebody else in the room with a camera to show more people.
More people. She's showing everybody. So the company this was the company that released Paris Hilton's tape too, which was the worst sex tape of all time.
Oh, that fucking green light. Who the fuck wants to watch that?
The weird, like, fucking night vision.
Yeah, like we're going in to get Osama bin Laden.
I was gonna say,
see this bitch
like
naked.
We're doing a night raid. What are we doing here?
Ugh,
it's so strange.
No, thank you. Also,
no. Well, she just didn't seem that into it.
No.
If she was, that's
that's bad.
She fucks with the enthusiasm you'd expect her to fuck with, honestly.
She fucks with the same enthusiasm she made onion rings at Sonic on Surreal Life.
I was just gonna say, the whatever that show was with her and Nicole, Simple Life.
Yeah.
That's the level of oomph she put into this too. So it's like, oh, all right.
She fucks with the level of enthusiasm of a girl that just goes, "You should be so excited to be here."
Yeah. You should just be happy with me. So they released this under the title One Night in China with an I, because can't use the other China. Yeah. Vince owns that shit. So One Night in China. And apparently there's more people in this.
Yeah.
I didn't know. There's
other scenes?
The fucking cast is 12 people. No, fucking 16 people long, which I don't.
So it's a video and it has like
other people.
Bouts.
It has open. You're going to be the opener. You don't want to host that show.
They don't want to be an undercard of One Night in China. Jesus.
Here is the. This is from the adult, fucking film
adult
directory.
IMDb.
Kind of, yeah. It is IAFD. This one here, and One Night in China has Brett Rockman in it. Who, by just the look of his picture, he's obviously a porn star.
Yeah.
It's like from the chest up, and he's like horrible looking face with like short bleach blonde hair, but like clearly like jacked pecs and fucking lats. Obviously a porn guy. Chyna, who does anal and bald is under her. So she does anal and has a bald pussy, they're telling you.
That's not bald either.
No. Dylan Day is in this. Ellen Saint. Who, by the way, she does anal double penetration, swallow, ass to mouth, and cream pie. So she takes multiple loads. Yeah, that's good for her. Eric Everhard, which is the great porn name.
It is, yeah.
It makes you sound like a porn superhero. Doesn't it? Like you have like a Warriors outfit with your dick rock hard sticking out of the front of it, like a hole cut out.
He's as famous as it gets.
Eric Everhard. He should be with that name. He came up with the best fucking name. He should be. Franco Roccaforte.
Yeah.
Who's not as Italian looking as you'd expect him to be.
Is that the guy they just called
definitely
Rocco?
Black. Beats the fuck out of me. Maybe. I have no Roccaforte. I have no idea. Jasmine Byrne. Who does anal, facial, swallow, and ass to mouth.
Of course.
It only says under the women what they're doing. That's why
he does all this for her.
One is great. It just says J. And let me show you the picture of him. All the others are like headshots. Like, look at Eric Everhard. That's like an IMDb pick. Yeah. Look at this guy. It's him looking down at a chick blowing him. Jay with no last name.
He looks like an open micer from Phoenix. That who I'm talking about.
I know exactly who you're talking about. And I thought the same thing.
That's
I was like,
that's
too deep
crazy.
of a cut. Looking down, getting a blowjob.
Yep.
Manuel Ferrara. Mike John. Opposed to John Mike is a totally different guy. Robert Rosenberg, because there's not enough Jewish people represented in the porn business. Not enough of it out there.
So far, the ladies are vastly outnumbered, but luckily, one girl takes several.
She takes several. That's why.
She'll take all of them.
We got 3 more ladies here. Sammy Rhodes, it just says facial under her, so apparently she just comes in for the ending there.
Yeah.
Sandra DeMarco, who does anal, facial, ass to mouth also. Okay. And then Steve Holmes, who looks like your kid's guidance counselor.
Pete's son. Jesus
Look at that
Christ.
guy. That guy's fucking people on camera.
That's unfortunate.
He looks like like just your neighbor dad guy. Hey, Steve, how you doing?
Ellen Saint is far too hot to be taking dick from that guy.
No shit. Tiffany Hopkins also anal, facial, ass to mouth as well. And then X-Pac is, of course, one of the other performers.
The women are vastly outnumbered in this.
It is. Let's see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 women and 8 men. So that's why you see.
That's Saint. She's a saint.
She'll do plenty. The synopsis: you've seen her in the wrestling ring. Now you can see her rumbling in some hot, sizzling action. That makes it sound like she farts as you fuck her. Don't say she's rumbling. One night in Chyna stars Joanie Laurer and Sean Waltman, or as they were known in their former careers, Chyna Doll and X-Pac of the World Wrestling Entertainment's bevy of beefed-up wrestling superstars. Chyna was a badass bitch in the ring and looked quite fetching in that female steroid bodybuilder appeal that strikes a chord with wimpy men. This movie is a must-see for wrestling and porn fans.
The best. They say nice things about somebody at the same time as calling them a badass bitch.
A badass bitch. It sold over 100,000 copies.
Wow.
Yeah. They made some dough off it, man.
They did terrific.
They did great, and I guess they both split the profits. They earned a share of the profits, both of them. That was part of their deal.
$20 about for a porn.
I think it was more back for that one. I think they were charging $40 or some crazy shit. Because this is before high speed. This is right on the cusp of high speed internet. Because I mean,
pirate it.
2 years later, it would have been worthless.
Yeah.
2 years later, immediate down. Anybody could stream it, watch it. But this was still in the dial-up, end of the dial-up days. So people couldn't stream it. So yeah, you had to pay for it. 2005. She debuts on the Surreal Life.
Post this on the heels of this.
That's why she's on this. She wouldn't have been on this except for that.
Right.
She needed that. Other people on that show, The Brat, obviously. Jane Weedland from not Bananarama, the other one, the fucking Go-Go's, the Go-Go's.
Really?
The band, the Go-Go's. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Adrienne Curry, who. I didn't even know who the fuck she was at the time.
TV
at
lady,
all.
right?
She was the one who was in love with the Brady Bunch guy, and then they did another reality show.
But
remember that?
Wasn't she a like extra or some shit like that?
Wasn't she? Maybe she was on MTV. Maybe she was on The Real World or something. I think she was on The Real World. I think she was like an MTV celebrity. I don't think she was an actress.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think one of those things.
Model TV personality. Yeah,
there you go.
That's the shit she did.
Or she was on one of those Next Top Model or one of those shows. Yeah. That's what she did. She was on that shit with Tyra Banks.
Oh, yeah. She was doing Life and Style, Us Weekly. She was in all kinds of...
That's what she did.
Yeah. She
did that
for
shit.
having tits and an ass.
Yeah, she's for model shit. Okay. Christopher Knight, who was Peter Brady, and she fell in love with him, and that was a whole big deal.
My Fair Brady, that was her.
Yep. Marcus Schenkenberg, who I don't remember who the fuck that was. Who is that?
I think he did... I know the
name. Schenkenberg?
Wasn't he a dick for
Is that the guy who... I don't know. Is that the guy who tried to sell like insulin for expensive? Is that the guy?
Yeah. he's a manager. He's a model manager.
Oh, okay. Great.
He doesn't matter.
And of course, Vern Troyer. You got to have him on there.
And he was amazing.
Oh, he was fine on the show. Yeah, he was the most together of anybody on this fucking show.
But when he got fucked up, it was so great because it took very little booze to ruin that guy.
And he was a mess.
It was so funny.
Christopher Knight, Peter Brady was actually the most together because he was a guy who has been dealing with this for so long.
Right. Yeah.
He was Peter fucking Brady, which is iconic, and everyone still knows him as that. Then he did a bunch of shit sitcoms, and then he basically sat around not being famous for 25 years.
Doing
like
drugs.
Being famous, but not being famous. I don't even think he was a drug guy. I think he's just a guy who was like, well, hey, shucksy.
Wasn't the Surreal Life about them being fucked up?
No. It was just about celebrity. It was putting a bunch of old celebrities together. That's Celebrity Rehab, which she was also on.
Yeah.
So don't worry about it.
Okay, we'll get there.
That's coming up. Yeah. So this is the one on this show. She drank all the time.
Yeah.
Would take her clothes. Remember her? I remember very clearly a shot of her holding a fucking bottle of something while butt naked. Like standing on a bed, like yelling or some shit. She was fucking out of control.
She was in the pool or in the jacuzzi
in the
all
pool,
the time
in the
drunk?
pool.
Yeah.
Totally, with the bottle all drunk going, she's going to drown.
Yeah. It's going to be real hard to get her out of that water.
And the worst and even creepier, remember when Charlton Waltman came over and they got in that huge, crazy fucking argument?
No.
And scared the shit out of everybody?
Oh, my God.
He came over, they got in a crazy fucking argument. And these are two big,
wrestlers,
fucking rough people. Yeah. So everyone in the house was like, oh my God, Jesus Christ.
Vern's hiding under the coffee table.
Vern's going, not in front of the kids, please.
Vern crawls under the couch.
Jesus Christ, man. That was wild. I remember that. That was wild. And I didn't know if that was real or what.
Yeah.
January 18th, 2005 is when they say Marcus Schenkenberg and Chyna are dating.
Okay.
So here's an article that says, we already know that the Surreal Life 4, that was number 4.
Wow. They
really?
already had, who the fuck else was on this?
I just remember the one with Webster.
Yeah.
Webster was on like one of the first ones. It was like, oh shit, Webster. And then they were running out of people. So they were like, how about Marcus Schenkenberg? We'll put him on there.
Yeah, they got the tall blonde chick.
They were running out of people. I got to find out right now because, sorry, everybody. I don't even care. I'm not sorry.
What do you want, the first season? I got you
I got it right
now,
here.
if that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, I want to look at the casts here.
Corey Feldman was in there with Emmanuel Lewis. They were friends. That's right.
That was a big deal. Yeah. We had Feldman,
MC Hammer, Jerry Menthe,
MC Hammer, Vince Neil. Oh, Vince Neil was like not around very often or something. He was all weird. He never showed up. Season 2, Tracy Bingham. Who the fuck was that? That's right. That's right. She was a model actress. Yeah. Trishelle Cantella.
She's a model also.
She was from
Poker
Real World.
MTV. Yeah.
She's a Real World girl. Eric Estrada. That's right.
That's right.
Another guy who was used to not. He was fine. And again, a guy who it had been 20 years, so he was fine. He was just he'd figured out who he was by then. Tammy Faye. Oh God, from Jen Baker's ex-wife. Ron Jeremy.
Yep.
And of course, Vanilla Ice, obviously.
And Todd Bridges.
Oh, wow. Was it? Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Wait.
Vanilla Ice hoists Gary Coleman above the deep fryer and insists on having former child star say his catchphrase. Todd Bridges shows up. Okay, yeah, no, they were just, he wasn't on it the whole time.
For some reason. Nice.
Season 3 had Charo, Flavor Flav, Jordan Knight. I was getting to him last. Brigitte Nielsen, Ryan Starr, and fucking Dave Coulier.
Jordan Knight, fucking new kid on the block. That was season 3 might be the best one.
Maybe.
To like make fun of them, you know what I mean?
It is, yeah, because I could make fun of Dave Coulier till the end of time. And I know he's sick, and I don't give a fuck. Fuck that guy. Don't care. Bad guy. Don't give a shit. Fuck him.
It's the most survivable cancer anyway. Who cares?
Don't care if he's got fucking aggressive fucking lymphoma. Don't give a shit. Don't care. If he dies tomorrow, lives to 100, couldn't fucking care less. He'll be a douche above or below ground. Don't care. Oh, God. Jose Canseco.
Carrie Hart? Wow.
Carrie Hart. Oh, my God. The dirt bike guy.
Bronson Pinchot. This might be the last time he was in the public eye.
Pinchot. Yep. Fucking. No. He's got a show. He had I think for like years, he had a home renovation show.
Oh, I love it.
He's got, it might still be going on, or it might have ended, but he had a home renovation show for a long fucking time where he was like renovating his own house.
Oh, I love it. Whoa, what a genius way to fucking get paid.
Yeah, and get
in your own shit.
And make the fucking drywall a write-off. Yeah, that sounds great. That's perfect. I'd like, for some reason, I was going to give him Balky's accent. I would like to build this house, but I don't have the money at the very moment. Oh, my God.
He's the best as Surge, anyway. That's the best
character. Oh, I love him as Surge. Yeah, Beverly Hills Cop.
Come on, it's
the
sales.
white wine
it's
spritzer.
Come on, just say it. Serge. Say it.
Serge, with the back here. Serge.
Oh,
I love that.
Serge.
The white wine. I make the white wine spritzers. Very nice. Like I said, it's very nice.
You try.
You try it.
Oh, he's so good.
Okay, so we go on to say here, season 4, Surreal Life 4 spawned romance between Adrian Curry and Chris Knight. Now there's a report a second Surreal Life romance has resulted from the series. Marcus Schenkenberg and Joanie Laurer were seen locking lips at Scores West in the wee hours of Saturday morning.
At a strip
Scores
club?
the strip club? Yeah, page 6, so that's Daily News. Yeah, fucking strip club.
They're at Scores fucking kissing, making out. Unbelievable.
Oh, my God. With fucking, while they checked their fucking coats with mob guys, because that's what they ran the coat check and shit there. Perhaps there's a great book on Scores that Michael Blutrick, he's the guy who started it.
Yeah?
He's one of the owners that started it. He wrote an incredible book about that fucking place. It's fucking hilarious. This guy's funny as shit. Really informative, really funny guy. And then he ended up flipping and testifying against the mob for fucking pushing in. The book is fucking crazy, dude. It's
I wonder
insane
if that's
movie.
why Scores kind of went by the wayside and now Rick's is like a big deal because of that?
Yeah.
Really?
They found out it was all mobbed up. The owners ended up, the other owner, they all ended up going to prison. Everybody got in trouble. They had to sell the place. It was a fucking mess. Yeah. It was mobbed
Howard
up
Stern
like
used
crazy.
To do shows there. Like
he talks incessantly about that. Talks tons about Howard Stern, how they got him in there, what he used to do, what Howard Stern's parties were like there.
Oh, I want
all
to
that
read
shit.
this.
Oh yeah. Talk some fun shit. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Leonardo DiCaprio saved his life.
Really?
Yeah, he didn't have time to put his wire on one night because he saw Leonardo DiCaprio wanted to talk to him. So he talked to him for 20 minutes, and then the other guy, the mob guy he was supposed to talk to, showed up, and it was too late to put the wire on.
Yeah.
And the mob guy's bodyguard ended up patting him down that night. So he was like, I was fucking dead. He goes, this guy would have fucking killed me on the spot.
Holy.
He goes, I was a dead motherfucker. And said said, I love Leonardo DiCaprio forever. So,
Leo loves that grimy side of
he's a scumbag.
Yeah, he's a scumbag. He loves
that's what he likes.
He loves the grimy side of fame that he gets to do all this stupid childish shit. The man's in his 50s.
He gets to fuck 19-year-olds and he thinks that's fun. This article goes, scumbag. The article goes on to say, perhaps more disturbing was when Chyna's nudity. First, quote, Chyna got buck naked and jumped into the fish tank at Coral Room as Schenkenberg filmed her with a video phone, the Post says.
In Scores?
It's Score. You can't get naked at Scores.
And jump into a fish tank? Or
That's
into what?
Crazy. That's I don't care, celebrity. That's crazy.
What the fuck? Who does she think she is?
Oh, my God. They said, too, by the way, at Scores, they've had that. Some couple was in there fucking one night.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, what the fuck are you doing?
You can't do that here.
The girl was doing a strip, and the owner didn't realize it wasn't an employee. And then they were like, fuck. And he's like, what the fuck? And they were like, you don't even work here? What the fuck is happening? You guys are going to, and it was some dorky couple from New Jersey that was like, it's just our anniversary and this is my fantasy. And my wife decided, he's like, what are you doing? I'm going to lose millions of dollars because you fucking
The DJ
assholes.
called for Jade to be on the Are you Jade? Who are you?
Demi Moore actually did a night stripping there one night.
Yeah, because of Showgirls or whatever it was.
To do
yeah.
striptease.
Striptease, yeah.
No one knew it was her.
Really?
No, she
How
put
the fuck do you not know?
She had a wig.
I don't
makeup.
care. I've seen her body.
You can't. No one's looking at her face.
No?
Who's looking at a stripper's face at Scores?
I look at all of them.
Not at Scores, you don't.
Maybe not. I don't. Well, I've never
sleazy.
been there, so I don't know what it looks like. But
it's a sleazy shithole.
Yeah? It's gross.
I don't know. It's all they're all gross. Yeah.
I don't know if they're all gross. I've been to a lot.
Back in the day, it was a sports bar.
Yeah?
With tits. That's what they tried to make it as. That's why it's called Scores.
Oh, aiming at that
double
crowd?
double entendre.
Yeah.
When it first opened, it had a fucking basketball court in there you could go play on. Yeah, it had golden tee and basketball courts. And then they said, "What the fuck are we doing?"
Yeah, we're selling tits.
Why are we selling tits? And their drunk guys are getting hurt playing one-on-one, and they're like, they're not buying drinks or buying fucking private dances if they're doing that.
Sued because some 40-year-old guy twisted his ankle in a pickup game.
This is ridiculous. What are we doing? So, that's what happened. The Post said that. Later at Scores, she started stripping. The manager of the place let her in the spirit of good fun. She was topless, but after she went bottomless, they told her she had to stop. Yeah.
We got a liquor license, lady.
You got a liquor we have a liquor license, and you have a fucking 6-inch clit. We can't have this in the same fucking room. I'm sorry.
Excuse me, ma'am. Your clit's in my martini.
Yeah. I ordered it dirty, but this is ridiculous. Sorry, everybody. We're having one of these fucking delusions. We had a good time before the show. We were dying laughing, and we're just having a good time today. So hopefully you're having a good time too.
Martini, the backstroke.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, boy.
Oh, I love it. The Danville Register and Bee, January 23rd, 2005, Joanie Laurer, a.k.a. Chyna, and her on-again, off-again boyfriend, Sean X-Pac Waltman, who, for the past couple years, have managed to stay in the public eye, not because of their accomplishments in professional wrestling, but because of their constant fighting. In the latest episode, Waltman recently revealed on an internet message board that Laurer, who now goes by the name Chyna Doll, was arrested on New Year's Day for domestic battery. Yes, Laurer struck Waltman in the face several times during a confrontation that happened in front of Waltman's 2 young children, according to the Post. No. Terrific. Excellent.
Oh, Jesus.
Excellent.
Punches
not cool.
Thrown in front of children.
Great. That's terrific. What a nice way to go here.
Yikes.
Since the two announced their engagement in November 2002, their relationship has been on a steady downward spiral that has included violence. In 2003, Laurer took out a restraining order against Waltman after claiming he choked, beat, and pulled her hair. Waltman has denied the charges. Both Waltman and Laurer, who were once at the top of their wrestling game as members with Triple H and Shawn Michaels of D-Generation X, have had their personal struggles since leaving WWE. Yeah. While Waltman is working to get his life back together after spending time in drug rehab, Laurer has experimented with a number of ventures, most of which have proven to be more embarrassing than anything else. Yeah.
Sure.
This is the thing. By the time she was naked on the Surreal Life, it was over.
Yeah.
Any chance she had,
you gotta show, you gotta have an air of mystery when
yes.
you can't just show it all.
Well, it's not even that. It's also I mean it's that too, but it's also just once you're that, you
that's
are.
All you are.
Not only to the people watching, holy shit, you're a disaster and a mess. They might want to see more of you, but what person is going to invest money in a project with that person in it? Right. That's
and
the
worse,
problem.
Nobody's buying that product.
No,
you buy the product of somebody that's professional. Once you're down to your vagina and everything is well known, it's over.
It's over. It's over. Once you're holding a bottle, fighting with your boyfriend naked on television, you're not. No one's going to say, "Let's make a movie and base it all around her." Right. Let's invest money and time over this.
The insurance company won't cover this project.
Yeah, you're making a bad mistake here. They said aside from a couple of successful spreads in Playboy, the former wrestling star has made a couple of demeaning appearances on the Howard Stern show. As we talked about, got pummeled in a celebrity boxing match. Joey Buttafuoco, I can't stop laughing at that. And worked with bugs on an episode of Fear Factor. In her latest foray, the former ninth wonder of the world is currently appearing in the new season of VH1's the Surreal Life reality series, which a handful of washed-up celebrities spend 10 days together in a mansion. If you haven't seen it, don't bother. I completely disagree with that, by the way. It's fun.
Give it a run.
It's pretty fucking fun. It really is. Really is. So now this is from September 15th, 2016 from a Bleacher Report article about now. So it's about this time. So we're going to put it in now. It says the last time Sean Waltman saw Joanie Laurer alive was in the emergency room at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles. It was January 2005, which is where we are now, more than 3 years after her final match with WWE, and Waltman feared his girlfriend was suicidal, just as she had been a few weeks earlier when she discovered she'd checked into a hotel under an alias, when he discovered that she checked into a hotel under an alias and attempted to drink and drug herself to death. Holy shit, man. That is depressing. Somewhere in between, Laurer has been spotted performing a fully nude striptease at Scores for her reality TV castmate on VH1's The Surreal Life and jumping naked into a fish tank at the Coral Room all in the same night. Jesus. So she got naked at two different establishments. She put clothes on, then took them back off again. By that point, Laurer's drug problem was hardly a secret. According to friends, she began hanging out at the Playboy mansion after making her second appearance in the magazine in 2002. Socializing with models and entertainers she met there, Laurer became a regular on the LA nightlife scene and began experimenting with alcohol and drugs she'd always avoided in the WWE, where she was known as a teetotaler. Yeah, because she was like, I can't drink that because it'll show up in my abs.
Well, there's that, and I'm also with this guy who doesn't do
It's a teetotaler. Yeah. And Triple H was all about, I eat fucking 4 steaks a day and I work out twice and then that's it. When Waltman entered her life, the partying intensified. Already battling his own addictions after a recent divorce, Waltman, known to wrestling fans as X-Pac, admits he was not in a good state when he began dating Laurer. Quote, I didn't do her any favors. I was so fucked up I couldn't even take care of myself. I had no business trying to help someone else. He's one thing that he is too, very honest about fucking up.
Yeah.
Seen a bunch of interviews with him in the last 10 years, and he's like, oh, Jesus, I fucked that all up. Like, he'll tell you what he fucked up and what he didn't fuck up. He's not one of these guys who's like, listen, I let it, blah, blah, blah. He's not full of shit anyway. He puts his bullshit on the table.
And was his biggest payday probably the porn, too?
Maybe. He made good money in wrestling in the late 90s because he got signed with WCW, didn't make a ton there, but then when he went back to WWE, he got really lucky going back to WWF. He got fired by Bischoff for having a neck injury and got fired by Bischoff. Kevin Nash and Scott Hall got real pissed off because that was their friend and you just fired him.
Right.
So Vince did a smart move here. This was when a ton of guys were going from WWF to WCW because they were giving more money and all this shit. He signed Waltman and made a big deal out of it, and because he was going to make a big deal out of it, he gave him more money than he should have. So everybody was like, "Oh, look, Vince is a player too."
Yeah.
So he got the benefit of Vince trying to show off there. So he made good money at that point. But I mean, the porn, I don't know. Maybe that was the best one-shot payday.
Yikes.
I was going to say, for lack of a better term. So they said week after week, Laurer and Waltman met up with friends for binges that almost always involved crystal meth. Waltman injected the drug.
Oh,
yeah, he was shooting.
God.
Laurer either snorted the powder or chugged it with a glass of water, which I didn't know that was an option.
Like Alka-Seltzer? Really?
you can fucking...
Does it fix...
plop, plop, fizz, fizz. Oh, what tight handcuffs this is. Oh, shit. This
that
is
is
bad.
A fascinating choice of how to get it in you.
I never heard of that before. The meth gave Laurer and Waltman enough energy to stay awake for 2 or 3 days straight. That's what meth does. They'd sleep for 24 hours and do it all over again. Tanya Moore, a former bodybuilding champion, said she used meth with Laurer and Waltman multiple times in 2003 and 2004. She said, quote, when you get caught up in that stuff, it feels like you're in a time warp. Life doesn't move forward very much. You sit around and come up with all these ideas, but never follow through with any of them. They're either on meth or sleeping, so yeah.
Yeah, you're a dreamer at that point.
Totally. They said when she left WWE, she wanted to get modeling gigs and get TV and acting career, but the deeper she plunged into her drug addiction, the more she no-showed casting calls. That's the other thing. If you have an agent and a manager, whoever the fuck is booking you and getting you these fucking auditions, and you're not showing up for them, the business is done. The business, more than anything, they hate flakiness.
Yeah.
You can be a mess, but if you show up all the time and are in condition to perform, nobody cares.
And your performance is impeccable. Like
impeccable.
If you're a mess and you show up and deliver, and you can go get fucked up as long as you want. We don't give a fuck.
And I know this because we know this because we're in fucking comedy. So in comedy, I have seen it where guys are a disaster. Yeah. They could be fucking some chick in the green room bathroom. They're drinking half a bottle of vodka, snorting lines. They don't give a fuck.
Standing on the toilet seat, pissing into the toilet. Don't care.
Can you go on stage for an hour and a half and make those people buy drinks? Terrific.
Make them forget they're overpaying?
They don't
That's fine.
care. Yep, that's it. So that's her deal. They said Moore, that's the bodybuilder lady, began to worry about her friend in 2003 when Laurer called her to say she was throwing away all of her possessions. That's not good when people start doing that. That's usually a suicide thing. Moore sped to Laurer's apartment in Marina del Rey and found her cramming years' worth of wrestling outfits, magazines, DVDs, even her WWE World title belt into $500 Toomey suitcases.
Oh,
Laurer said she later planned to leave them on the curb for strangers. Was going to leave them outside.
Toomeys?
I was going to say,
Lord.
fuck all the other shit, too. Those are good suitcases.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with those. We rock those. Those are good. If you travel a lot, that's a good suitcase,
That's
man.
a damn nice suitcase.
That's a fine one. We both have those, and we like them. And I'm not leaving it on the curb for anybody. It's expensive. Fucking, that's
too much for this thing. And
fuck yeah.
It's got a crack in it, and I have duct tape on it, and I'm not stopping until a wheel falls off.
I got the fucking metal one. You can shoot that thing with a fucking bazooka. It's great. I love that fucking thing. I throw it on. I don't give a shit. That thing is awesome.
I was using a duffel bag with wheels until my fucking neck and back were killing me.
Yeah, I remember that thing.
I'm like, fucking best.
I was like, what are you, a hobo? What the fuck are you doing?
I spent $400 on this goddamn thing. It's the best
they're
suitcase
expensive,
ever.
dude. They're great. That's the thing, and you'll have it for a long fucking time. So she's stuffing all that. Her friend wouldn't allow her to do it. I told her to keep them until she was ready to take them back. I said I'd keep them for her until she's ready to take them back. So instead of, some people do that with like their friends' guns. She's like, let me take your suitcases and wrestling stuff. I'll take that because you're going to throw that out.
I'll hold this.
12 years later, the items are still in Moore's closet.
Oh, my God.
With autograph signings as her main income, that's the thing. That's the thing that saved a lot of these wrestlers is these cons that came. And I don't mean fucking scams. I mean the conventions.
Right.
These conventions have saved a lot of these guys' fucking lives. They really have. I mean, they became. I don't know if they're still as big as they were a few years ago.
Yeah.
Like kind of pre-COVID,
Yeah.
that 2010 to 2020, that fucking convention scene was cooking.
Yeah.
I mean,
and it's not even just conventions; it's also like just appearance gig. You know what I mean? Just a anything.
Well, they also book these guys at Comic-Con and shit like that too. In addition to wrestling events, they book them at those type of things too. I saw the
because
Hockey
a Comic-Con guy
Comic-Con
is the same guy that watches WWF. It's the same dude.
It's a similar crowd. Similar deal. So it's people that are into shit, basically. Very into shit. So that's what they're talking about. Laurer complained to friends that she was running out of money and joked about applying for a job at Burlington Coat Factory.
Don't do that, Joanie.
Don't do that. Go to Dollar Tree. It's better than that. Jesus Christ.
Go to Ross. Jesus.
And she and Waltman got engaged and filmed a sex tape. Waltman said he made $250,000 from one night in China and estimates Laurer received significantly more, but the teasing and shame that followed drove Laurer deeper and deeper into depression. Waltman said Laurer physically assaulted him twice, breaking his nose the first time before punching him repeatedly in the presence of his children in January 2005 when she was arrested for domestic assault. Waltman said, what people need to remember is that she was mentally ill. Drugs definitely didn't help the problem, but she was just using those to self-medicate from the pain that comes with being messed up in the head from childhood trauma and other stuff that happened in her life. He said that I saw some crazy shit. The shade of her eyes would switch colors. The features in her face would change. She could go from being mean and scary to looking like a little child in her face and her eyes. She had two personalities. If you watched The Surreal Life, you watched it. You saw it happen before your fucking eyes. Yeah. She would go from someone that everyone in the house was terrified of, literally like rah, with a bottle, and then she would be like her whole face would be different, like a little girl 2 minutes later.
A lot of people are like that. Just the booze or just whatever substance can do that to them. Makes their whole face contort into something else.
Well, for her too. I think it was extra.
Maybe
with the booze was just probably
mental shit too.
Had to be exacerbating all that because even he's saying like this all, it magnified it, but she's sick to begin with is the problem. Right. That's the issue. Her friends were in love with the other Chyna, the one who adored chihuahuas and played the cello and sang songs from Moulin Rouge on her karaoke machine. They talk about this. That must have been. Imagine Chyna singing, first of all. That's hilarious right there. I would pay to watch that. Never mind the porn. That's hilarious. I'd pay $5 for me and you to sit here and watch that and crack up laughing. That'd be funny as shit.
Yeah.
I would totally do that.
She can play a piano. That's amazing.
Yeah, she's got musical talent, but she can't fucking sing, I guarantee.
She doesn't have a voice.
No.
It's crazy.
No. They talk about the month of September 2001 when Laurer packed a suitcase full of Playboys and traveled to New York, popping into fire stations alone to sign autographs and take pictures with Ground Zero first responders. I'll take those guys some tit pics. What do we say here?
Donate?
That's nice.
Is that what she's doing? Is like, thank you
She's
for
going
helping
around.
with the 9/11.
Here's some masturbation material for later.
Jesus Christ. Tug to this if you don't.
I mean, that's nice, I guess.
I suppose. It's just
a nice
weird.
gesture.
Yeah.
A bunch of firemen were probably like, yeah, right. Free Playboy? Sure, why not? Who cares?
Weird.
They tell stories about the Chyna who, when she didn't have enough money for a tip, gave her black mink coat to a mover she hired off Craigslist. Wow. People wanted to
crazy.
Be... That seems nuts.
Thousands of dollars jacket? That's nuts.
For a tip for a Craigslist mover, you could have just given him 10% or something.
You could have probably given him a lamp.
Something, right? People wanted to be her friend because she was a star, because she was Chyna, says Christian Moraldi, an actor and former roommate. But she was so much more than that. It was impossible to meet her and not fall in love with her.
Yeah.
So he says it was also impossible, Moraldi says, not to ache for Laurer during those moments of clarity when she grasped all that she had lost. Moraldi was in the car with Laurer one day when they passed a Los Angeles billboard featuring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who had turned a successful stint into the WWE into a blockbuster movie career. Laurer and Johnson had appeared together on the cover of Newsweek in February 2000. Moraldi says it'd be difficult to go from the cover of Playboy and ringing the bell at the New York Stock Exchange and seeing your likeness on a building in Times Square to being unemployed, to not have a sense of where you're going or what you're doing next. She was struggling to remain relevant. Yeah, by this point, she was just, remember, wasn't she a wrestler or something at one point? That's how people remembered her. It's sad. January of 29th, 2005 here. The article is called Chyna Over the Edge.
Oh, no.
Yeah. They said even back in 2001, anyone who read Chyna's autobiography could tell something wasn't right. The book was an incoherent mess of self-deprecation, psychotic rants, and swear-laden stories. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
That book was a mess. Rather than celebrating her rags to riches fairy tale, Laurer and her ghostwriter spent the entire 318 pages spewing venom at her detractors and often her allies. The only thing readers could be sure of was Laurer was very bitter and very unstable. But no matter how close to the edge Laurer may have seemed in her WWE days, no one could possibly have envisioned how far she would fall. Last week, Sean Waltman made a desperate plea to the producers of the Surreal Life, saying, quote, "This is a crucial time for you and anyone else who has profited from doing business with her to step up and help save this woman's life," Waltman wrote on his website. "She is on the losing end of a life-or-death battle with drugs, alcohol, and severe mental illness." They're like, we got another show for her. Don't worry about it. Jesus Christ. Waltman revealed Laurer had checked herself into a hotel and attempted to drug herself to death. He pleaded with the producers to get help. And, they said, wow, fast forward to 2004, talk about like the end of her Playboy and some successes. Playboy wasn't interested anymore.
No.
Her music career bombed before it even got started.
Yes.
Even a, quote, accidentally released sex tape, which it wasn't accident. They just said that, but it was 100% on purpose. A la Paris Hilton failed to revive public interest in her career. So that must really piss her off. Paris Hilton did that, helped her career a lot. Kim Kardashian, we know who she is.
Yeah.
We know who she is.
Yeah.
This one, nothing.
Nothing. Meth.
And meth. So Laurer did what any D-list celebrity would do when strapped for cash. She signed up for a reality show. Right. The Surreal Life, a VH1 series in which we know what it is here. She was constantly drunk and chain-smoking, often parading around the house with her breasts hanging out. Perfect. Unfortunately, it wasn't just an act for the cameras, as the downward spiral would continue when she returned to the real world. Earlier this month, Laurer was arrested for allegedly beating Waltman in front of his young children and others. A day later, a New York Post writer observed one of her drunken nights on the town, leading to a page 6 report of Laurer stripping naked and jumping into a fish tank of a New York City nightclub. But the problems really became public last week with an appearance on the Howard Stern show.
There you go.
This is a bad time to go on Howard Stern.
Yeah, this
when
was
you're
his,
a fucking mess.
Yeah, and this is
you
his
got to have
time
your A
of,
game.
Like, yeah, this is his time when he was like extra vicious too, because
It
was peak Howard.
It was peak of everybody doing that back then.
He had Artie on the show at the time, who was a longshoreman, and he was fucking drug addict himself. It was
a mess.
Really crazy.
To say Laurer was wasted wouldn't even begin to describe her condition.
Yeah.
She was slurring her words, contradicting herself, and launched into random tangents that were impossible to follow.
Yeah.
She denied assaulting Waltman, but proudly boasted that she slapped him around. That's good. She said she didn't want to do drugs anymore, but professed she would gladly do a line of cocaine if it were in front of her.
Yeah.
Excellent. Wednesday, Waltman posted another message on his website, again directed at the Surreal Life producers. Your kindness and compassion have turned Joanie's experience from a sad one to one of happiness and hope, he wrote. It appears Laurer has finally been offered help she desperately needs. Whew, man. March 13th, 2005. It's an article about the Surreal Life in the Daily News. And it's just all about this type of shit here. X-Pac arrived at the house holding a distinctly funeral bouquet. Chyna, who looked less than pleased to see him, apparently has poor judgment in choosing men and clothes, but that's beside the point. I love you. You don't fucking realize that, though, said X-Pac to Chyna, his greasy hair gleaming in the moonlight.
Crazy.
I'm a hell of a fucking man when it comes to treating a woman right. What a catch, they say. When Chyna broke down after the confrontation, her housemates rallied to bring her back from the brink after hiding her prescriptions for fear she'd do something drastic.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ, that is fucking wild. When X-Pac called later that night, Debrat shot him down as only she can. Good night to you, and we don't ever want to speak to you again. You stay out of here.
Yeah, get out of this house.
Oh, my God. An article in the Hamilton Spectator from April 20th, 2005 called Get a Surreal Life. Surreal in parentheses here. And they're talking all about it, about Chyna. This is funny. There's they're talking a little script here. A perversely fascinating sojourn into pop culture depravity. Mini-Me, the lovable Austin Powers scamp, known in real life as Vern Troyer, was calling his manager to complain that someone had stolen his bedroom. Elena, I'm pissed, the pint-sized crybaby bleated into the phone. I don't have my own fucking room. Somebody else took it. Who took it? Demanded his outraged manager with motherly concern. Mini-Me looks mortified. Chyna doll. She's going to throw me across the house if I say anything.
Giant woman.
Chyna doll, the ditzy former WWE star whose real name is Joanie Laurer, had been first to arrive at the garish mansion that will soon house 7 C-listers, better to make that D-list celebrities for weeks of inter-loser bonding, and quickly laid claim to the only private quarters. He's going to have to learn to show a bigger person, learn to be a bigger person than a little person, she said, drowning him down a martini. That despite the fact that everything in the room had been downsized to accommodate him. They made a room for him so he could fucking manage.
She's in there just breaking everything.
She's just fucking like, this is awesome. I'm Godzilla. They said the bed, the coat rack, the bar, everything adjusted. He's 2'8". He needs shit to be fixed.
Down and breaking the bed.
How is she going to fit her fat ass in your bed? Demands Mini-Me's apologetic agent as her tiny charge appears on the verge of tears. Vern, tell her to get the fuck out. Things reach a climax when Troyer threatens to walk off the show unless his Amazonian nemesis vacates at once, which prompts Peter Brady, known in real life as Christopher Knight, to step in and mediate. If you ever thought you'd see Mini-Me fighting an Amazon woman with Peter Brady being the voice of reason, I never thought I'd see it, but there it is. That's why the Surreal Life was fun.
It was great.
It was great just for that. Somebody has to be excuse the expression the bigger man, he tells the dueling blockheads, forcing them to negotiate a truce that results in, after much debate, Chyna Doll getting the fuck out and Mini-Me literally kissing her rear end. Wow. She's described in this article, Laurer, 35, constantly hammered sex pot, dubbed the breast woman of the WWF, likes to show off her implants in tiny bikini tops while practicing flying leaps and chokeholds. The only cast member who failed to recognize a drawing of herself on the mansion wall.
She doesn't
Who's
know
that?
what she looks like.
I don't know who that is.
Her lack of self-awareness is incredible.
It's impressively incredible here. Okay, so we're going to do, here's an interview. We'll probably wrap up on this interview because it's an interview with her here, talking about everything from April 21st, 2006. And then we'll close it out because she has had much more legal problems coming up and some interesting shit here. Some of the shit she accuses Waltman of is wild. Okay. So the interviewer is Steve Gerwick. I don't know. They said, what projects are you currently involved in? Well, I am putting together a very nice cardboard box behind the fucking Walmart. That's going to be good for me for the future.
I'm assembling my shantytown abode.
Yeah. She said, I'm working on several big projects at this time that I'm very passionate about.
Okay.
Bullshit. I've just finished production for a VH1 series, Fame Games, which was done in Vegas and was a lot of fun for me because I got to do a lot of physical stunts, and I love working out and being physical. I'm also one of the leading ladies in a comedy film, Illegal Aliens.
What?
Oh, boy. Wonder if that ever got made. We'll find out. Last month, I was at a hugely successful screening for the movie, and I'm told it got picked up for theater release. Did it now? I believe a movie called Romantic Wrestling Comedy, which I co-starred in, is also coming out soon. In addition, I plan on doing many promotional appearances and autograph signings very soon. I have many great projects on the table. So the question is, talk about working with Anna Nicole Smith. Anna is a great friend, she says. She was a true professional and a very funny lady. Despite what you read about her in magazines, she is not crazy. She is very intelligent and very talented.
Really?
Yeah, this is the fucking pot calling the kettle fucking sane. That's what this is. This is interesting.
Very talented, is that right?
Very. They said, what do you take away from your experience doing this Surreal Life? She said, I took away some great friendships and beautiful experiences. These people really became my family and helped me through some very tough times in my life and helped me realize that I had to get my life together, and I couldn't thank them enough for that. They said, do you keep in contact with Sean Waltman? She says, I do not. I have not spoken with Sean since last January. I have nothing negative to say about him. I have said everything I had to say. Our relationship was the worst thing I had ever been through, and I hope Sean is able to find happiness in his life. Okay. Are you benefiting financially from the release of your video with Waltman? She said no. Well, he made $250 and said she made more.
How are you not making anything?
You did make something, and you pissed it away, I think.
Yeah, it's gone.
She said, I did the video with Sean for our enjoyment, but when he let it get out into the hands of an outside party, I decided to release it before the other party did. But Sean went and did a deal with the red light district behind my back, and I was not given any money for the video. Okay, that's not what I heard at all. Now that I look back on it, I would have never even made the video, but it all happened at a time in my life when my life was spinning out of control and I lost sight of who I was. They said there are rumors that you were went into rehab after your appearance on the Howard Stern show. True or false?
And she
false.
Said, really?
Yes. I did not go to rehab. I actually went to a place that specializes in helping people who have battles with depression. After about a week, I decided to stop drinking, and these people were able to help me deal with the drinking problem. That sounds like rehab.
It's definitely rehab, yeah.
Just a different form of it. Then I got great professional representatives who deal with people that have addictions, so they have been able to help me stay on the right path, and I owe a lot to them.
Yeah.
They say, what's your reaction to the finished DVD, 101 Reasons Not to Be a Pro Wrestler. I remember that was a big thing on YouTube for a while there. She said, I actually had not seen it until recently. I thought it was very well done, and I'm very glad I did it to get my views on wrestling out there. They said, what do you miss from being in the wrestling business? The instant gratification from 20,000 fans. There's nothing like the reaction of thousands of screaming fans. It's a complete adrenaline rush. He said, have you ever had any contact with Vince McMahon in recent times? Any chance you'll return to the WWE?
Any chance?
Any chance? She said, never say never. I am an actress, a model, and a wrestler. At this time, I have a lot going for me. Do you? Okay.
Lots of projects.
And do not wish to return. I went through too much to return at this point, but I am forever indebted to the WWE for their help in making me a star. You mean making you a star?
Right.
I had many good memories with them, and the good will always outshine the bad ones. They said, why did your relationship with WWE end? She said, I was up for contract renewals, and after I found out Triple H had cheated on me and confronted him about it, then I was put in the women's division, had to take a pay cut. Don't know if that's true either. They said the contract which they presented me did not let me do other things, and I would have gone backwards in my career, and I didn't want to do that to myself or my fans who had watched me for many years. By the way, all of the contracts say you can't do other shit unless they approve of it.
Right.
That's
the idea.
She acted like that was a new thing. Like they put this contract that said I can't do that. You couldn't have done Playboy unless they said you could do it. That was part of it. It's part of your contract. That's why it's so hilarious that they're independent contractors, because independent contractors, but one that the boss can tell you you're not allowed to do other shit. It's ridiculous. So they said, do you have any regrets about your WWF days? No regrets. I enjoyed my time there and now look forward to the future. Do you have a favorite WWF match or memory? Probably winning the Intercontinental Championship. Yeah. I worked very hard for it and felt honored to hold the title with so many greats before my time had done. Talk about working with Eddie Guerrero. Thoughts on his untimely passing, because he died in 2006. Yeah. Eddie was a great guy. He was always cracking jokes. I would always go out to the ring with a smile on my face when working with him. That smile was not an act. He was a good friend and always made me smile. When I heard he died, my heart was broken. God bless you, Eddie. He said, are you still in contact with anyone currently in wrestling? Last time you spoke to Triple H. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
She said, I do keep in contact with some of the old New Japan gang since I'm always working out at the LA dojo, but I live a very busy life, as do the wrestlers, and I do not get to see much of my old friends. Last time I spoke with Triple H was in 2004 when he went to get Shawn at a hotel to take him to rehab. Oh, boy. He's done that several times, by the way, Triple H. He's found him and brought him in. Despite breaking my heart, I do wish Triple H all the success in the world. So they said, do you keep up with the WWE product, TNA? If so, what's your opinion of the product? I don't keep up with wrestling. I'm busy, blah, blah, blah.
She's aware.
They said, at one time, TNA expressed an interest in working with you. Did you strongly consider it? She said, yes, I did, but at that time I got sick with pneumonia and was unable to work it. I called them to let them know this. Right now, I don't have a desire to work with them at this point. They keep asking her about wrestling. And she says, right now I'm happy with where I'm at. I don't know how.
Are you?
I don't think so. She said, I did a lot in wrestling and love my time there, but there comes a time when you have to move on. I do not feel I am better than wrestling, as many have speculated. Wrestling made me famous, and I can't thank people who helped me enough, but it just felt I had to move on. I guess so. Jesus Christ. What's the biggest misconception you think people have of you?
Okay, here it goes.
That I'm stupid.
Okay, nobody thinks that.
I think a lot of people thought she was stupid.
Really?
Because her voice is weird and she's a drunk lunatic.
Okay.
So I think that comes across as stupid. I never thought she was stupid. I thought she was a mess.
Yeah, I thought she needed help.
Right, train wreck.
Problems.
She said that I'm stupid. I'm a college graduate. I speak 4 different languages and have a major in foreign language. Remember Spanish literature?
Right.
I love to read and write and plan on releasing another book in the future. Any last words for your fans? I love you all. I can't tell you how much your support has meant to me. You were all there with me through the good times and bad times. I was at my lowest, blah, blah, blah. You will all be seeing a lot more of me and will always be special to me.
We've seen all of you.
Then they do give me your initial reaction or short statement about the following. One-word answers. Vince McMahon, brilliant. Linda McMahon, smart. Not brilliant. Stephanie McMahon, beautiful.
Bitch.
Yeah. Man stealing cunt. I mean,
that's 3 words.
Great, beautiful lady. Shane McMahon, athletic. Sean, which is the last thing he is. He's ballsy. He's not athletic at all. He's athletic for a non-wrestler.
He throws himself. He does that.
But he's certainly not athletic. You look at him and you go, man, the lack of athleticism makes this guy look so much more impressive because he's just tossing himself through glass and shit.
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels, friend. Triple H, cerebral. Sean Waltman, bad news.
Sure in the fuck.
Bad news. Billy Gunn, friend. Eddie Guerrero, smile. Killer Kowalski, unique. That's one way of putting it. He is. Antonio Inoki, father figure. Steve Austin, entertaining. Jeff Jarrett, guitar. That's it. Hits people with a guitar. She just says guitar.
Guitar, I don't know.
Miss Kitty / Stacy Carter, the cat. That's not anything about her. You're just calling.
Yeah.
Chris Jericho, Fozzie. Like Fozzie Bear, I guess. That makes sense.
He's a Joker.
I could see that.
Waka Waka.
Kane, Monster. Lita, amazing. Scott Steiner, Peaks. Hugh Hefner, Sweetheart. Joanie Laurer, Survivor.
Okay.
Survivor. And then, by the way, we'll do this last one here, just the movie. In 2006, that movie, Just Another Romantic Wrestling Comedy, actually comes out.
What?
And it is a Jewish man falls in love with a wrestling princess, and it's a no-holds-barred quest for love. Wow. This stars Selassie Amana as Robert John, Nicole Breyer. Oh, that's not that Nicole. That's Nicole Byers I'm thinking of. No, Nicole Breyer, don't know who that is. Aaron Fiore, Rocco Piedra,
is that the guy
Piedra. Like, that's what I thought too at first. I was like, oh my God. April Hunter, who plays Diamond Piedra. Chyna plays Roxanne.
Yeah.
I've never heard of anybody in this fucking movie.
It's bad. It's very
Not
bad.
one.
James.
Only there's 20-something people on the IMDb, and 6 of them, not even one of the 6 of them have their picture up. It's a bunch of gray screens. That's not good.
Gray silhouettes.
Gray silhouettes there. That is bad. Yeah. Bad stuff there. So, yeah, that is going to be Chyna for this
Part
week,
2.
I think.
Damn.
Part 2 of Chyna. We'll finish up in Part 3.
It's so worrisome.
It's so very worrisome for her. This is a lot, and it's on a bad path right now. That's the thing. You can tell it's
heartbreaking.
It's pretty fucking heartbreaking, and you know what's going to happen and bad things. And this Part 3 is going to just be all shit.
Yeah.
It is just, neck deep in shit. It's a mess. God. And it's all the bad parts. It is the major.
Yeah.
We've heard Part 2. Part 1 was Grace.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is all good. The end of Part 1, leaving WWE. This is post-Grace
This
fall.
is all gravity. No shoot. This is crazy.
But still her struggling and trying to scratch with her nails and grab a branch as she's slipping down the hill. Oh. Next one is, fuck it, I'm going into a full tumble down this mountain. I don't care.
Push off.
Just going to push off and see if I can somersault. Fuck it. That's what that is. It's a lot of shit. It's crazy. So if you enjoy the show, tell the world.
Give them
whatever app you're on. Give us 5 stars. It helps a lot. Sure. Also, you definitely want to listen to our other shows, which are Small Town Murder and Your Stupid Opinions, which are hilarious fucking shows.
They're so much fun.
And they're great stuff. So listen to those. Follow us at Crime and Sports. Mm-hmm. You also can, you definitely want to do Patreon, patreon.com/crime in sports. You want to do that. And also, if you want to just get a shout out, you can, and throw $1 down or something, you can do, or give us however much you want. You can do crimeinsports@gmail.com on PayPal as well. But Patreon, you can do it too. Patreon.com/crimeinsports. That's where you get all the bonus material. Anybody $5 a month or above, you're going to get just a gigantic, sickeningly big back catalog of bonus episodes. You've never heard hundreds of them. And then you're going to get new ones every other week. One Crime and Sports, one Small Town Murder, and you get it all, baby. This week we're going to talk about, for Crime and Sports, we're going to talk about Travis Rudolph, recent NFL cast-off, who just went through a murder trial. So we'll talk about all that. Then on Small Town Murder, we're going to talk more about the West Memphis 3, and just basically get to the point of how the fuck did we end up with this mess? How do we end up with Metallica needing to donate their music to a documentary about murderous teenagers?
I can't hear Sanitarium one more time.
Sanitarium. And then part 2 is Nothing Else Matters will get in your head. The whole time it's just... they just play that fucking guitar lick at the beginning. Yes. Well, they play the guitar lick, just a little, like, fucking by itself guitar lick 100,000 times.
Both of them. It's like,
you're like,
God
fine,
damn,
play Nothing Else fucking matters, I guess.
It's the same 10 seconds of both songs.
Yep. And then finally at the end of the first one, they kick into the actual Sanitarium. You're like, yeah, finally, you're rocking. So we'll talk all about that. Patreon.com/crimeinsports. And you get a shout out at the end of the show, which is right now. So Jimmie, hit me with the names of the most wonderful fucking people who've ever existed. The people who keep the show going, who keep us going, and are the heart and soul of it all. Jimmie, hit me with these people right fucking now.
This week's executive producers are Andrew Newman, Mark and Chrissy Such. Hey, happy birthday. No, happy anniversary.
Birthday.
It's the
32nd anniversary.
32nd, Jesus. Good.
Happy birthday.
So many. I could never. Matthew Reed, thank you, bud. That was very nice. Happy Hour got a mortgage in Texas, but right now he's in Albuquerque. That's too bad. I'm sorry about it. Hope you get home to, I guess, a better place?
That's a lateral move.
At least you're home.
At best. But home is always a positive move.
Joe Gleason won the Crime and Sports and Small Time Murder Fantasy League, James. Good for you.
Well,
Joe.
then, congrats to you. We should give him something.
They did. He won money.
No, from us, though.
I mean, we just did.
We'll give him something.
We'll find something.
I'm going to find something in the office to send
somebody, and we'll send you something. And also, Tracy Liquia. Tracy, thank you. You went above and beyond, and that deserves something.
Tracy.
All of you, thank you so much for what you're doing. You're amazing people. Other producers this week, Liz Vasquez, Peyton Meadows, 12-year-old Lucas Martell, 12-year-old. What are you doing listening to this?
I don't know if that's great or bad for your future, but either way, we love you, Lucas.
Luke? God damn it.
Goddamn! Tell your parents. Maybe they won't want this, or don't tell your parents. We'll be like your Judas Priest or something. You know what I mean?
Did your parents buy you an iPhone and they don't even know you do this?
He plays it quiet at night and shit.
On his fucking AirPods.
Flashlight under the sheet tent.
Oh, Lucas, you're. Man, I don't know if you're a good kid or a bad kid. I can't tell. I hope
you're fucking great. Rock on, Lucas.
Yeah, don't
Hail
break
Satan.
laws.
That's all.
Janice Hill, Andrew Bailey, Will with no last name, Brandon Camarata, Sammy Wright, Jordan Kippen, Carmen McTurner. It's Russ, man. Chris Pope, Sarah with no last name, Amber Cranmer, Olivia Horniak. Is that right? That is.
Horniak.
Grace, 1, 2, 3, 4. Crystal Volts, Elizabeth Van D. Velde, Dwanya Kelly, Ellen Medley, Michael Baird, Zach Chipman, DM, D like the person, DEE like Mr. Brown, but with the letter M. Andrew Gilliam.
Brown and his pump.
Is Andrew Gilliam? Do we know? Is that the? Do we
Sounds
know Andrew
very.
Gilliam?
No, we know. Is it the Reverend? The good Reverend.
Yes.
We know the good Reverend. That's a different Gilliam.
It's a different Gilliam, isn't it? It's not Andrew.
Different Gilliam. Yeah. No, it's John. The good Reverend Jonathan Gilliam.
That's it. Yeah, this is Andrew Gilliam. I think it's
not a reverend. Not a reverend at all.
Was there a Gilliam? Armand Gilliam.
Armand Gilliam, the NBA player. That's a different, totally different guy.
All right. Well, Gilliam, thank you. Mike with no last name. Megan Dallaire, Stephen Baker, Beth Kuffel, Carla
Stephen
McGee.
Baker, the ex-Giants wide receiver. Stephen Baker, the touchdown maker.
That's the guy.
Yes, number 85 himself. Fuck yeah, Stephen Baker.
Carla McGee. Manders with no last name, Mitchell Forrester, Justine Rogers, Karen Lowe, Alex with no last name, Bethan Williams, Beth Hurst, Matt Helmers, and Addie Barrow maybe, Vaughn Robinson, Linda Hefner, Hugh's daughter, I imagine, Jesus. Would Hugh have a daughter named Linda? Is he that old? Carrie Bargen?
He died at like 114. I think he was that old.
Ryan McCarty, Tony McKay, Bowtie Mouse, Joseph Lehman, Bradley Myers, Erica Maxon, Ali Mac Attack, and Stroke Malone. What the fuck? Nicola Everson, Julianne Cabrera, Amy Hagerman, Kristen Camille, Connie Walters, Mary Kremer watched her, Laura Freeze.
Watched her do what?
Watched her.
I watched her. I can't get sanitarium out of my head.
Watched her Kramer.
Watched her Kramer.
Laura Freeze, Jonathan Bird, Elena with no last name, Julianne Beck, Walter Bubba Brooks III, Ann Robinson, Tracy with no last name, Tony Maldonado, Natasia, Stacy with no last name, Barb Pressler, Shizuka with no last name, Morgan Bowling, Lacey Lynn, Courtney, I said that, Monica Hammonds, Mads, what did she donate twice? Courtney, damn it.
Courtney, so nice she did it twice.
Unbelievable. Mads Wilkins, Ellen, Elian, with no last name, Tarla
Gonzalez?
Ballou, what is it?
Gonzalez?
Yes, Elian Gonzalez.
He's back.
Bastard who got himself a raft. Melinda Johnson, Camilla Rodriguez, DePino, Carson with no last name, Mike Sipko, Paige Burris. All right, Zach Kell with no last name. That is a last name, Kell. Jesus. Colleen Connolly.
James Pietragallo with no last name.
Christine MacArthur with no last name, Taylor Strouch, Karen Napoli, James Gilstrap. That's okay. Ansley Wimbish, Ryan Critchett, Abby Hubble, Madeline Kacharski, Nick Legault, Joseph Reynolds, Sweet Biggins, good for you, Alexandra Smith, Ian Boxell, Joseph Payne, Mike Forehand, Charles Hafter. Georgie Dunn, Elta Abbott, Lauren Coulter, Christian F. Lindsay with no last name, Rather Not, Hannah Sonnenberg, Patricia Dishman, Charity with no last name, M&D, Chris with no last name, Sierra with no last name, Rob Bossman, Spencer Davis, Kira Lee, Michael King, Nick Kiefer, Louise Falzerano, Dave Clark, Hannah Souza, Amanda Enright. What? Is that right? Yes, it is right. It is. All right. Papa Tanku, right? Jason with no last name, Larry Barnhart, Virgil Casanova, Mike Manchak, Prophet Black, Angie Green, Zach Jackson, Sarah Vand, Hallie Vieira, Gina Rodriguez, Laura Wilkinson, Diane Schneider, Amy Mackey, Luis Martinez, Steve Fullard, David Scott Ryan, Jute Boot, Mary Cass, Laurel Mitchell, Clay Billingsley, Amy L., Erica with no last name, Mike LaChase, Terry Trufant, Jessica Boucher, Krista Isabel, Reyes with no last name. That is a last name. Jeffrey Gregg,
yes,
Jana Matthews, Nathan L., and every one of our patrons. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, everybody, from the bottom of our cold, dead, black, shriveled hearts. We appreciate all that you do for us. Honestly, thank you so much for everything, guys. You're fucking amazing. We can't do it without you. So thank you. If you want to follow either of us, you want to follow us on social media, very easy to do. ShutUpAndGiveMeMurder.com has all your drop-down menus and your tickets and your merchandise and anything you could fucking possibly want from us. Head there, find it, and hang out with us. Keep coming back. And live from the Crime and Sports Studios, we will see you next week.
Bye.
If you like crime and sports, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this White Zinfandel. Well, good. Now put it down. We're going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles,
a big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud,
sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.